The eternal night fog is like a thick black veil, wrapping around the entire city and swallowing up the last trace of light. The abandoned high-rise buildings trembled slightly in the wind, and on the street below, the low roars of zombies came like a tide, intermittent, mixed with occasional crashes. Luo Yu leaned against the dilapidated window and looked down through the gap. Those twisted figures were shaking in the darkness, like countless ghosts wandering around. He took a deep breath. The air was filled with the smell of mold and blood. This was already their temporary fortress. Unfortunately, this fortress could not last long. "Boss, those things are getting closer again." Jianhong's voice came from the door, low and alert. He is a strong man, with a former soldier's physique that has become the backbone of the team in this apocalypse. At this moment, he is holding an iron pipe and staring at the stairs. Listen to the sound, there are at least 50 of them. The resources are almost at the bottom. If we don't move, we will become their dinner. Luo Yu turned around and patted Jianhong on the shoulder. "I know, brother. Don't panic, hold this floor first. Minner, how about the medical kit?" Zhang Min squatted in the corner and opened a worn-out backpack. There were very few things inside, a few packs of gauze, a tube of expired antibiotics, and half a bottle of painkillers. She raised her head, her long hair swaying slightly under the dim eternal night light. The lamp was picked up from the ruins. The battery only had the last bit of power left, and the light it gave off was pale and weak. "It's not optimistic, brother Yu. The gauze is enough to cover the wound twice, not to mention the medicine. If someone is bitten and becomes infected." She paused and didn't finish her sentence, but everyone understood. "That virus spreads quickly, and one bite can turn you into a monster." Tang Xiaoxian and the team couldn't help but smile after hearing this. She is a young nurse, always so optimistic, shining tenaciously like a ray of sunshine in this eternal night. "Oh, Sister Min, don't scare everyone. Aren't we still alive? Think about the past. Before the virus broke out, I was still in the hospital watching dramas. Now at least I don't have to work overtime, right?" She blinked, trying to lighten the atmosphere, and handed Zhang Min a piece of compressed biscuit. "Come on, eat something to keep up your strength. Brother Jianhong, don't stand around all the time. It's my turn to be on guard." Jianhong shook his head and did not take the cookie. "Xiaoxian, I understand your thoughts, but now is not the time for joking. Those zombies will not let us go just because you are optimistic." He turned to Luo Yu. "Boss, how are you doing with your trap? Can the pile of rotten iron pipes downstairs stop them?" Luo Yu smiled and wiped the oil on his hands. He is an engineer who did mechanical design in factories before the apocalypse, and now those skills have become a lifeline. He pointed to the center of the room, where a pile of discarded wires, iron pieces, and old tires were piled up. It looked messy, but in his eyes, it was a sophisticated device. "It's almost done. Look here, I made a roller trap out of tires and wires. I pushed it down the stairs and knocked a bunch of them unconscious. Connect the wires to the battery and build a simple power grid that will keep them twitching for half a day. It's not foolproof, but at least it can buy time to break out." Zhang Min came over, took a closer look, and frowned slightly. "Brother Yu, you are so smart. I remember that when you were in school, you liked to take apart the old radios at home, which made my parents complain. Now it's better, you saved our lives," she said, gently touching his arm. Her movements were gentle, with a touch of intimacy from childhood sweethearts. Luo Yu felt warm in his heart and flashed back to those days involuntarily in his mind. Before the virus outbreak, everything was normal. He and Zhang Min grew up together. In that lively community, they would squat on the roadside on summer evenings, eating skewers and chatting about their college dreams. Jianhong was his college roommate. He always carried dumbbells into the dormitory and joked that he wanted to be a special soldier. Where is Xiaoxian? She is Zhang Min's intern, a happy star in the hospital, and always loves to share gossip. The city is brightly lit and people are coming and going. Who would have thought that a virus could ruin everything? Now, the eternal night has swallowed up the sun, and the fog has covered the sky. Human beings are hiding in the ruins like mice, relying on the dim light of the eternal night lamp to survive. Those memories pierced his heart like knives, but they also reminded him that he couldn't just fall down. "Hey, brother Yu, why are you so dazed?" Xiao Xian pushed him. "Are you homesick? Or do you miss the braised pork made by Sister Min?" "Haha, I remember you said last time that the thing you want to eat most in the apocalypse is that." Luo Yu came back to his senses and shook his head with a wry smile. "I want to do it all. But now, survival is the most important thing. Listen, everyone, we can't waste any more. There are more and more zombies downstairs, the food is only enough for 2 days, and the lights and electricity are running out. Let's break out, go around the back door and go to the old mall to the east. There is a rumored safe stronghold there." Jianhong nodded and turned the iron pipe in his hand. "Agree. I will handle the battle, and you will be responsible for traps and medical treatment. But boss, are you sure this plan will work? Those things are not afraid of death, what about us?" "Afraid, but you have to try," Luo Yu said, bending down and continuing to assemble the trap. The sound of wire winding echoed in the room, like the rhythm of a heartbeat. Zhang Min was on hand to help pass the tools, and the two of them had a perfect understanding. "Minner, what do you think? Regarding the serum, is there still hope?" Zhang Min sighed, a trace of fatigue flashed in his eyes. "The experimental serum, a sample I obtained on the last day in the hospital, was originally intended to combat virus mutation. But now, who knows whether it will work or not?" She suddenly stopped and took out a small bottle of blue liquid from the bottom of the medical box, with a yellow label attached to the bottle. "Wait, this is... I thought it was lost. Brother Yu, look, this bottle of genetic serum. It's hidden in the mezzanine and it's not broken." The team's eyes are all focused on it. The bottle of liquid glowed slightly under the light, like a spark in the eternal night. Xiao Xian came closer and her eyes lit up. "Wow, really? This thing can strengthen the body? Will you not be afraid of zombies after being injected?" "Not sure." Zhang Min shook his head, but his tone was a little more excited. "It is an experimental product. It can temporarily enhance our senses and strength. It may help us light up the road ahead. But it is risky and the side effects are unknown." Jianhong snorted. "Risk? We risk turning into zombies now. Let's try it, boss, will you do it?" Luo Yu stared at the bottle of serum, his fingers trembling slightly. The normal life in his memories seemed so far away from him, but this might be a turning point. He took a deep breath and nodded. "Okay, let's do it. Prepare the trap and start the breakout operation. Brothers, we don't just survive, we have to live something." The roar downstairs suddenly increased, as if in response to their determination. Luo Yu clenched the tool, feeling a surge of heat in his heart. No matter how dark the eternal night is, it can't stop them from moving forward. Zhang Min said softly, "Brother Yu, be careful. I will be by your side." Xiao Xian clapped her hands and Jianhong checked the weapons. Everything was ready, just waiting for that critical moment. They don't know that this bottle of serum not only lights up hope, but also hides a greater secret. But at this moment, it was their only fire, burning brightly in the darkness. Luo Yu's fingers were still trembling slightly, and the bottle of blue serum was held in his palm like an untimed bomb. He looked into Zhang Min's eyes. There was worry and trust in them. The roar from downstairs was getting closer and closer, like a wild beast sharpening its claws at the door, reminding them that time was running out. "Minner, don't rush to inject it yet," he said, keeping his voice steady. "We have to secure this layer first. The trap is not yet ready. Jianhong, come on, come and help." Jianhong put down the iron pipe and strode over. His shoulders were as broad as a wall, but slightly bent with fatigue. "Boss, tell me, how to do it. Those stumbling ropes, I see the picture you drew, one at the top of the stairs, it's quite harsh." Luo Yu nodded, pulled out a few thick wires and old ropes from the pile of scraps, and handed them to him. "Yes, let's start here. The rope is tied to the handrail of the stairs, and the other end is connected to the tire. The zombies will trip when they step on it, and they will roll down and be smashed into meat patties. What about the noise bait? I made a simple device using empty bottles and stones, hung it by the door, and when I pulled the wire, it would jingle and lead them in the wrong direction. He said and demonstrated, and the wire was quickly wrapped around his fingers, making a small friction sound. The dim light of the eternal night lamp shone on his face, and beads of sweat slid down his forehead, but there was no trace of panic in his movements. This is his forte, having grown up dismantling machinery, and now these ruins are his factory. Jianhong squatted down, took the rope, and tightened it with his rough palms. Okay, I'll fix this end. With your brain, it was a pity to be an engineer before the apocalypse, but now you are a savior. He said with a smile on his lips, but his eyes were still looking at the door. During the installation, he suddenly stopped and lowered his voice. Boss, I remember when I was in college, you always dragged me to the factory for internship, and I laughed at you for looking like a blacksmith. Now think about it, how good it was back then, without these monsters. Luo Yu patted him on the back, didn't say much, and just continued to guide. Tighten it, brother. Don't let it loosen. If it does, we'll be dead. The two of them cooperated tacitly, and the rope was quickly tightened, hidden in the shadows, like an invisible net. Zhang Min watched from the side and couldn't help but interject, Brother Yu, you two work together like an old couple. Jianhong, don't be so sullen. Xiaoshuan's biscuits are still there. Take a bite and you'll be very hungry. Tang Xiaoxian heard this and was handing out things from her backpack. She handed everyone the last few compressed biscuits and half a bottle of water, as briskly as handing out candies in the hospital. Come on, Brother Jianhong, eat this first. Sister Min, don't just focus on the serum. The supply is limited, so you have to save some. Brother Yu, do you want it? This is our last stock. It depends on luck after finishing it. She said, giving Luo Yu a piece, her eyes curled into crescents. Think about the past, when I was on duty in the hospital, I always ate fruits from patients. What now? This biscuit tastes like delicacies from the mountains and seas, right? Jianhong took the biscuit, took a bite, and chewed hard. Thank you, Xiaoxian. Your optimism is rare in the apocalypse. But boss, you mentioned the East Shopping Mall as the breakout route, and I agree with it. But that section of the road I walked through before when I was on patrol was full of scrap cars and broken bridges. What if there is a traffic jam? He said as he ate, with a hint of hesitation in his voice. That's the habit of soldiers, always thinking about the worst-case scenario. The team sat in a circle, the battery of the Evernight light buzzing, and the light flickered like a will-o'-the-wisp. Luo Yu swallowed the biscuit and wiped his mouth. You have to try to block it. Go out the back door and bypass the main street. There is a rumored trading point in the mall. Maybe you can exchange for some lamp oil and weapons. Jianhong, you, a former soldier, can you give me some advice? Jianhong stared at the floor, the iron pipe resting on his knees, his fingers unconsciously rubbing the old scars. Those were the traces left by bullets in the early stages of the virus outbreak. Suggestion? Oh, when I was a soldier, the troops were trapped in the camp. I didn't sleep for 3 days and 3 nights. Finally, I left my 2 brothers and ran away. Before they turned into those things, they still called my name. His voice was muffled, like a stone, and his eyes were red, but he quickly blinked them away. Since then, I have been afraid of taking the lead. What will you do if I make the same mistake again? Especially you, Brother Yu, and Minner. The room fell silent. Zhang Min came closer and gently held his arm. Jianhong, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. The virus came too fast. Everyone has to choose a way to survive. Now, we are a team, and you are not alone. Her tone was gentle, like comforting patients in the hospital, with a hint of an old Chinese saying, the boat will straighten out when it reaches the bridge. Just grit your teeth and get through it. Xiaoxian nodded and patted Jianhong on the shoulder. That's right, brother. Look at Brother Yu, an engineer turned leader, Sister Min a medical genius. What about us? Just rely on your strength to charge. Don't let the past bite you, bite those zombies. Luo Yu looked at Jianhong with firm eyes. Brother, you didn't abandon us. Back in college, you blocked the drink for me, and now it's my turn to help you. Let's break out together. Regarding the serum, Minner, can you tell us about the risks? Zhang Min took out the serum from the medical box, and the bottle flashed under the light. She carefully unscrewed the lid, smelled it, and frowned. This is an experimental product. It was originally used to suppress virus mutation and improve immunity and senses. After injection, it may make you stronger and your vision clearer in the dark, like lighting up a permanent night lamp. But the risks, the side effects are unknown. Maybe fever, hallucinations, or even accelerated infection. I synthesized it at the hospital at the last minute and didn't have time to test it. Brother Yu, if you try it, if something happens, What if you don't try? Luo Yu interrupted her and held her hand. We have to have a trump card. We'll wait until we can defend this wave. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a scratching sound from the stairs, like fingernails scratching on the wall. The zombies came, first with sporadic growls, and then with dragging footsteps, so heavy that the floor shook slightly. They're coming up. Jianhong jumped up, grabbed the iron pipe, and blocked it in front of the door. Boss, prepare the trap. Luo Yu rushed to the control line, his heart beating like a drum. Xiaoxian, stay back. Minner, get gauze ready. The door was banged, and the first zombie broke in. Its rotten face was twisted, its eyes were cloudy and lifeless, and it rushed towards Jianhong. It wasn't fast, but it was incredibly powerful, swiping its claws and tearing the air. Jianhong roared, and the iron pipe swept across, hitting its knee. There was a crisp sound of broken bones, and the thing fell to its knees. He kicked it over and the iron pipe went straight into its head. Black blood splattered, and the fishy stench hit your nostrils. Come on, you beast. The second one followed and pounced from the side. Jianhong twisted to dodge, but the pipe got stuck in its neck, and the two fell to the ground in a tangle. He gasped for air, a bloody mark was scratched on his arm, and he grimaced in pain. Damn it, Minner. Zhang Min rushed forward and held the wound with gauze. Don't move, disinfect. But the third one had already squeezed in, its roar deafening. Xiaoxian screamed and threw an empty bottle at its head, but it only attracted more fierce attacks. Now! Luo Yu shouted, pulling the stumbling rope. The rope net at the entrance of the stairs was tightened, and the first wave of zombies tripped, rolled into a ball, and smashed onto the iron sheet, causing everyone to scream. He pulled the line of the noise bait again, and the rocks in the bottle clinked loudly, like firecrackers on the street, and the sound echoed in the corridor. The remaining zombies were attracted and turned to chase the source of the noise, crashing into the power grid. Electricity sizzled, they twitched and fell, and smoke rose. Jianhong took the opportunity to get up and smash the last one's head with a pipe, causing plasma to splash all over his face. He panted and slid against the wall. Damn, almost, boss, your trap will help. The team gathered together panting. Xiaoxian helped Zhang Min wrap gauze. Her face was pale but her eyes were bright. It's so exciting. Brother Jianhong, your fighting style is so cool. Like the special forces in the movie. Zhang Min checked the wound and breathed a sigh of relief. No bite, just a scratch. But Jianhong, your past, what you just said made me understand. You are not afraid, but you are afraid of missing again. We believe you. She turned to Luo Yu, Brother Yu, this wave has been defended, but the serum, you still want to try? Luo Yu nodded and wiped away his sweat. We have to try. The route is set, East Shopping Mall, move immediately. He was about to say more when a denser roar came from the street in the distance, like a tidal wave, making the window glass buzz. Not sporadic, but a large group. In the eternal night fog, countless figures swayed and headed straight for tall buildings. No, they heard the noise. Jianhong stood up and grabbed his weapon. Boss, withdraw. Luo Yu's heart sank and he held the serum bottle tightly. Let's go now. Brothers, follow. They rushed to the back door, darkness swallowed their footsteps, and roars followed them like a shadow, forcing them to have no way to retreat. The iron lock of the back door made a final muffled sound in Luo Yu's hand. He pushed hard, and a moist mist poured into the crack of the door, mixed with the smell of rot. The roar came from the front of the building, like the tide crashing on the shore, and the footsteps of the zombies made the ground tremble slightly. Quick, advance in single file. Luo Yu ordered in a low voice and took the lead in getting out. The scrap metal in his backpack made a small crunching sound. He took out a homemade torch from his pocket. It was an iron rod wrapped in oilcloth, with the end stuffed with waste engine oil picked up from the building. He squatted down and lit it with a lighter. The flames burst into flames, and the orange light pierced the darkness of the eternal night and illuminated the narrow back alley. Collapsed walls line both sides of the alley, mountains of garbage pile up, and mist wraps around the ankles like a living thing. Zhang Min followed closely behind him, holding a medical kit in his hand and breathing rapidly. Brother Yu, how long can this torch last? There's not much oil left, she said as she glanced back. Behind Xiaoxian supporting Giant Hongdian, the guy's arm was still bleeding, and the iron pipe was slung over his shoulder like a makeshift scepter. Just hold on until the mall, Luo Yu said, raising the torch high and sweeping across the alley. In the darkness, the shadows were eerily elongated, and his heartbeat stabilized. The scuffle in the building just now made him realize that hesitation would only lead to death. Now, he has to be the light and lead everyone forward. Jianhong, keep an eye on the back. Xiaoxian, help him hold down the enemy. Don't make any sound, the zombies rely on sound and smell to chase them. Jianhong nodded and responded in a rough voice, understood, boss. I can't block it with my body. He shook his arm, the wound hurt slightly, but he didn't groan. The shadows of the past were still lingering in his mind, but he looked at the backs of his team and gritted his teeth and thought, I can't be embarrassed anymore. This time, I have to protect him to the end. Xiaoxian came closer to him and whispered, Brother, don't move your arms. Sister Min said just scratches are fine. Think about those zombies, they are as ugly as rotten oranges, we are much more handsome. The alleyway is twisting and turning, like a maze, and the light circle of the torch only shines 3 meters away. Luo Yu took the lead, walking briskly and avoiding scattered bricks. He planned the route in his mind, connect the back alley to East Street, bypass the abandoned parking lot, and go straight to the mall. It is said that there are traders there, guys like Huang Yi, who always hide lamp oil and supplies. But the fog was too thick, blurring the vision, and the occasional wind blew, mixed with a low grunt, sending chills down one's spine. After walking for a few minutes, there was a sudden scratching sound from the front, like fingernails scratching on the asphalt road. Luo Yu raised his hand to signal to stop, lowered the torch, and in the flickering light, 3 figures emerged from the fog, zombies with gray skin and eyes as cloudy as dead fish. Their noses twitched, smelling the scent of living people, and roared and rushed towards them, faster than those in the building, making the sound of wind when waving their claws. Roadblock! Luo Yu shouted, pointing to a pile of overturned trash cans and scrapped car wrecks in the alley. He had already spotted this. In engineers I can always find opportunities. As the team ducked into the shadows, he rushed forward and flicked the torch, igniting the fragments of tarpaulin nearby. The fire jumped up and illuminated the roadblock. The zombies were frightened by the flames, but they quickly swarmed back. Jianhong rushed from behind and swept the iron pipe across, hitting the first one's leg. Get away, you beast! The crisp sound of broken bones echoed, and the thing fell to its knees. He took advantage of the situation and kicked it over, but he did not notice the second one coming from the side. The claws grazed his shoulders, new scars opened, and blood instantly stained his sleeves red. Ouch! He groaned, and the iron pipe got stuck around the zombie's neck, and the two fell to the ground entangled. Jianhong! Zhang Min screamed and rushed out of the medical kit, with gauze and alcohol bottles ready. She knelt down and held the wound, as skillfully as if she were on the operating table. Don't move, disinfect. Xiaoxian, help me hold him down. Xiaoxian rushed over and blocked Jianhong with her body. Her face was as white as paper, but her mouth was unforgiving. Brother Jianhong, what are you doing? It's not your turn to be injured first even if a hero saves a beauty. Those monsters are so ugly. Our team is much more handsome, and even one bite would be a loss to them. Her words were like a moderator. After Jianhong listened, he grimaced in pain but managed to smile. Little girl, stop talking so much, boss, keep going. Luo Yu had no time to be distracted. He pulled up the wire on the side of the alley. It was a temporary trap, a trip wire pulled from a scrap car. He tightened one end and fixed it to the crack in the wall, and connected the other end to the loose lamp pole. Bring them here. The torch was waved, and the flames licked the air. The third zombie was attracted by the light and pounced on it with its mouth open. Luo Yu dodged, and it stepped on the wire, tripped and hit the roadblock. The trash can rolled over and hit its head. The sound of cracking bones was mixed with a roar, and the smell of blood in the mist became even stronger. The team gasped and stood up. Jianhong's wound had been wrapped by Zhang Min and the gauze was tied tightly. Slight injury, not deep, she said, wiping her sweat and looking at Luo Yu. But don't be brave next time, we are in this together. Brother Yu, this alley is too dangerous, we have to find a new way. Yes, Luo Yu nodded. The flame of the torch shrunk, and he felt nervous. The oil was about to bottom out. Looking around, he suddenly kicked something, bent down and picked up a crumpled piece of paper. Unfolding it in the mist, it turned out to be an old street map. The corners are yellowed, but the East Street sign is still there, and the location of the shopping mall is clear. I even made some handwritten notes. Avoid the broken bridge, and the trading point is on the underground floor. Look at this. Jianhong, do you recognize the previous patrol map? Jianhong came closer, the firelight illuminated his face, and the scars were faintly red. I recognize it. This is an old thing from when I was in the army. There is a fork in the East Street. You can go around the parking lot and get to the back entrance of the mall. But there is an open space in the middle with thick fog and easy ambush. He pointed at the map, his voice became much calmer, and his past self-blame seemed to be diluted by this moment. He was not a burden, but a pillar. Xiaoxian came closer, her eyes sparkling. Great! Brother Yu, your luck is like winning the lottery. Come on, there is food in the mall, there is lamp oil, and maybe hot soup. Think about it, when I was on duty before, I always imagined that there would be magic potions in the doomsday, but now? We are a team of heroes ourselves. Zhang Min smiled and pulled up Luo Yu's sleeves. Heroes also need to save fuel. This torch can't last half an hour. The route is set, let's set off. But Brother Yu, the serum. If it's really blocked, you have to consider injecting it. Luo Yu put away the map and nodded. I know. Let's go. They accelerated forward, the aperture of the torch narrowed, and the alley turned into East Street. The fog became thicker, like cotton blocking the nostrils. The streets are wider, but abandoned cars are scattered here and there, and broken bridges are dimly visible. Behind Jianhong Hall, iron pipes beat on the ground, making a rhythm, like a soldier's marching drum. After walking for about 10 minutes, a clearing appeared. The fork in the road marked on the map is just ahead. But suddenly, there was a strange noise in the fog, not an ordinary roar, but a deep roar, mixed with the sound of metal friction. Luo Yu held up the torch and shined it, and a figure emerged, mutated zombie. It was larger than the ordinary one, its arms were twisted into hooks, its skin was covered with thorns, and its eyes were glowing green, as if it was infected with a new virus. The speed was astonishing, and he jumped forward, tearing the air with his claws. Mutated. Disperse! Luo Yu shouted, and the team scattered. Jianhong swung his pipe to block it, but the thing was so powerful that the pipe bent. He was knocked away and rolled into a pile of scrap cars. Damn, this thing is different. Zhang Min pulled Xiaoxian to hide behind the broken wall, and Xiaoxian gasped, Sister Min, its eyes are glowing, like a ghost. But we have Brother Yu's trap, don't panic. Luo Yu's mind was racing. There was abandoned construction site scaffolding in the open space on the map. He dashed to the side and pulled at the hidden chain that had been improvised and extended from the barricade. Jianhong, lure it over. The torch was thrown out, and the flames brushed against the mutated zombie's shoulder. It roared and turned towards Luo Yu. Jianhong got up and rushed forward with a roar. The pipe hit his leg, but only left a shallow mark. The thing swung backhand, but Jianhong couldn't dodge and suffered a new injury on his shoulder. Brother Yu. Zhang Min poked his head from behind the wall, but Luo Yu had already tightened the chain. The scaffolding tilted, and the iron pipes and steel bars collapsed, hitting the mutated zombies. It was buried halfway, roaring loudly, but the thorns cut through the chains and broke free, its green eyes locked on the team. Run! That side of the fork in the road. Luo Yu shouted, picked up the torch, and took the lead in running wildly. The team followed, footsteps rang out in the mist, mutated zombies roared like thunder, and the sound of pursuit got closer and closer. It was so fast that its claws brushed Jianhong's back several times. They entered a fork in the road, an abandoned underground passage, a temporary hiding place. Luo Yu pushed open the iron cover, everyone rolled in and closed it. They were crowded into a small space, panting like cattle. Outside, the mutated zombie's claws scraped against the door, making a harsh sound, but the passage was narrow and it couldn't squeeze in. Hold on, Luo Yu whispered, the flame of the torch flickering on and off, the last trace of oil was exhausted, and darkness swallowed everything. There were only distant roars and the echo of heartbeats. Zhang Min approached him, his voice trembling, Brother Yu, the light is gone. We have to rely on serum. Are you ready? Luo Yu held the bottle tightly and felt the team's gaze in the absolute darkness. He took a deep breath and his heart sank. This is a turning point, we have to take a step forward. Miner, give me the injection. Brothers, wait, I will light up this eternal night. In the dark underground passage, the air was as stuffy as a steamer, mixed with the smell of earth and mold, and everyone's breathing echoed like a heartbeat. Luo Yu sat firmly against the cold and wet wall and took off his coat, revealing the old scars on his arms. He took out the tube of genetic serum from his backpack. The glass bottle was slippery on his fingertips, and the liquid inside glowed with a strange blue light, like a fake luminous toy sold in a night market, but it contained a doomsday bet. Outside, the mutated zombie's claws were still scratching on the iron cover, making a harsh sound like fingernails scratching a blackboard, reminding them that they were running out of time. Minner, come on. Luo Yu whispered, his voice as steady as if he were in a meeting, but his eyes were fixed on the bottle, and a flash occurred in his heart. After taking this step, there is no way out. But for the sake of the team, he has to be a pioneer. Zhang Min knelt beside him, the medical kit was opened, and the syringe and alcohol cotton inside reflected the faint peripheral light. She took a deep breath, her hands trembling slightly, but her eyes were firm. Brother Yu, I picked up this serum from an old laboratory. It is too experimental. The principle is to stimulate nerves and muscles to temporarily strengthen the senses. Vision, hearing, and physical strength can be doubled, which is enough for you to repair lights or set traps. But the side effects are unknown. It may be dizziness, hallucinations, or even accelerate virus invasion. It is not a panacea. It will last at least half an hour after the injection. We have to observe it. Jianhong squeezed on the opposite side, the wound on his shoulder still aching. He rubbed his brows and interjected in a rough voice, Boss, do you really want to try it? This stuff sounds like counterfeit medicine on the black market. What should we do if something happens? The monster outside is still scratching at the door. I can hold it up and go out to explore the way. Don't act like a hero. His words were straightforward as a soldier, and worry flashed in his eyes. The shadow of the past made him unwilling to watch his brother fall again. Xiao Xian came closer and handed the alcohol cotton to Zhang Min. Her little face was shining white in the dark, but she forced a smile. Brother Jianhong, are you worried that Brother Yu will become a Superman and steal your limelight? Sister Min is right, the serum is hope, and our team relies on mutual trust. Brother Yu, if you feel something is wrong, say it immediately and I will rub your shoulders. Her teasing was brisk, like the chirping of cicadas on a summer night, easing the tension in the air. Luo Yu smiled and patted Jianhong's knee. Brother, I know the risks. But without light, we are blind. The night lamp is the key, and my engineer's skills must come in handy. Minner, give it the injection. The team listens to me, this is my decision. His heart sank. Growth is never about waiting, but taking the initiative to seize opportunities. Zhang Min nodded and disinfected the skin. When the needle was inserted, Luo Yu only felt a chill. The liquid was pushed in and flowed along the blood vessels like ice water. After pulling out the needle, she held down the cotton ball and said in a soft voice, "Okay, the effect will be visible in 5 minutes. Take a deep breath and don't panic." The team gathered around quietly, the scratching sound outside faded away, and the mutated zombies seemed to be unable to smell it and slowly moved away. At first, nothing changed. Luo Yu rubbed his eyes, the darkness was still as thick as ink. But suddenly, there was light at the edge of his vision, not a light, but an outline. The iron cover of the passage, the cracks in the wall, and even the stubble on Jianhong's face were all as clear as day. He blinked, and his hearing sharpened. A low roar in the distant mist seemed to be whispering in his ears. "It's done, I saw it." "What about you?" Jianhong's eyes widened. "What?" "Your eyes are glowing." "Boss, does this really work?" Xiaoxian poked his arm excitedly, Superman mode. "Brother Yu, get out now. Let's go straight to the warehouse. I remember there are old lamps there." They pushed open the iron cover and climbed out carefully. The fog was still thick, but Luo Yu's eyes seemed to be equipped with night vision goggles, and the outline of the ruins of East Street was clearly visible: broken walls, overturned cars, and scattered iron pipes. He led the way, walking steadily and avoiding pools of water. "Here, there is an abandoned warehouse at the end of the fork in the road, marked on the map. There is a lot of space inside, where you can temporarily repair the lights." The team followed up, behind Jianhong Palace, and held the iron pipe tightly. "Boss, your eyes are scary. You feel like a mutant in a science fiction movie. But remember, don't hold on." Zhang Min walked beside him and asked softly, "How do you feel? Where is your physical strength?" Luo Yu tried to jump, and his muscles seemed to be recharged, making him feel much more relaxed. "Great, Minner. Thanks, this serum is our savior." The warehouse door was a half-open iron gate. Luo Yu pushed it open, and it was empty, filled with rusty shelves and broken boxes. Dust hit my face, and the air smelled of old paint. He glanced around, and his enhanced vision allowed him to see clearly the old light fixture in the corner, a high chandelier with broken wires but the bulb still intact. "Xiaoxian, help me get the toolbox. Jianhong, guard the door. Minor, monitor me." Xiaoxian handed over the screwdriver and tape, her eyes sparkling. "Brother Yu, you are like a bomb disposal expert now. In the hospital, I always watched you repair those broken instruments, but now you are repairing lamps to save lives. You are so cool." Luo Yu smiled and climbed up the shelf. His eyesight allowed him to easily catch the broken wires. With fingers as nimble as boneless, he stripped away the wires and connected a spare battery, a makeshift power source scrabbled from scrap metal in his backpack. A spark flashed and the light bulb came on. The orange light spreads out, illuminating a 10-meter radius of the warehouse and dispelling the shadow of the fog. "It's done!" Jianhong whispered and poked his head through the crack of the door. "There are a small group of zombies outside, 3 or 4. They will come over when they hear the sound. But if there is light, they will hesitate." Zhang Min sighed and checked Luo Yu's pulse. "The heart rate is normal, and the enhancement is stable. But don't exceed the limit, the side effects may be delayed." The team sat around the shelves, nibbling on the remaining compressed biscuits. The light made everyone's faces relax a little. Xiaoxian shared the kettle. "Think about it, in the past doomsday movies, there were always artifact lights. Now we light them ourselves, it feels like setting off fireworks during the new year." Jianhong chewed biscuits and frowned. Fireworks are good, but resources are running low. 2 days of water, 3 days of food, lamp oil. This battery can't last the night. We need to find a trader, a guy like Huang Yi, to exchange some supplies. Luo Yu nodded and leaned against the wall, scanning the fog outside the window. The enhancement allowed him to hear distant grunts and small groups of zombies wandering outside the warehouse, but the light blocked them. Yes, the shortage of resources is a flaw. Break out to the shopping mall and find a trading point. Jianhong, you were exposed to the black market when you were a soldier, right? Are those exchanges worth it? Jianhong snorted and rubbed his shoulders. It's worth it, but you have to be careful. People like Huang Yi are sweet-mouthed and have dark hearts, and they always hide their backs. When exchanging goods, look at things clearly and don't be fooled. But with the light, we are confident. I used to blame myself for holding back, but now I will protect everyone. His words were filled with the tenacity of growth, and his eyes looked at Luo Yu, full of brotherly love. Zhang Min smiled and approached Luo Yu. Brother Yu, your decision makes the team more united. The serum is risky, but you take this step, and we all grow up with it. I remember when you were a child, you always repaired broken toys, now you repair hope. Xiao Xian interrupted. Yes, Sister Min, Brother Yu is our Dinghai Shenzhen. But when it comes to transactions, I am responsible for bargaining. I used to be the best at shopping. Luo Yu listened, feeling warm in his heart. The heat from the injection was still flowing through my body, but I had a faint headache, like a needle pricking my temple. He shook his head and said nothing, thinking in his heart, this is the price, you have to bear it. Under the light, the faces of the team were clear. He stood up. Enough rest, let's move forward. The mall is not far away, there is light to protect you, avoid those little zombies. Jianhong, lead the way. They pushed open the side door, and the aperture moved forward, illuminating the gravel road outside the warehouse. A small group of zombies swayed in the fog, 3 gray shadows, their noses twitched to smell the light, but they were frightened by the brightness and flinched, growling. Luo Yu took the lead, walking briskly. The enhanced physical strength made him like a tree in the wind, dodging an incoming claw. Go around to the left, behind the abandoned car. Jianhong swung his pipe to block the other one, and the pipe hit his knee, causing the thing to kneel down with a crisp sound. Boss, this light really works, they don't dare to get close. Xiao Xian followed Zhang Min and whispered, look, Brother Yu's eyes are shining like a cat. Sister Min, do you think the serum will make him 10 times more handsome? Zhang Min rolled her eyes at her, but smiled, little girl, concentrate on walking. Resources are serious. At the traders, in exchange for lamp oil and food, we have to use our handmade traps or old parts. In the apocalypse, trust is the currency. As we advanced, the fog gradually thinned, and the outline of the shopping mall loomed, with the remains of high-rise buildings crouching like giant beasts. Luo Yu's vision caught the movement in the distance, more shadows, but with light, they could go around. The headache came again, as mild as a hangover, but he gritted his teeth and held on, holding on to the repaired lamp handle. The team's conversations were buzzing in his ears. At this moment, he felt the weight of growth, not only to lead, but also to protect them from the wind. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew, and a familiar roar came from the fog. The green eyes of the mutant zombie flashed again. Jianhong shouted, it's catching up. Boss, do you have a headache? Hold on, let's stay together. Luo Yu nodded, his headache was surging, but he turned around and held the light high. Follow me, we will light up this eternal night until the end. The light swayed in Luo Yu's hand, like an unstable torch, and the orange halo of light opened up a small clean space in the mist. The mutated zombie's green eyes popped out of the shadows, and its claws scratched the ground like nails scraping iron. It was only 10 meters away. Luo Yu's vision was still sharpening at the edge, capturing its distorted outline, swollen muscles, and the teeth in its mouth shining with phosphorescence. He gritted his teeth to hold back the stinging pain in his temples, and a thought flashed through his mind, we can't retreat, this light is the backbone of the team. Jianhong, outflank on the left. Xiaoxian, help Minna retreat. Luo Yu growled, his voice steady as if he was directing a drill. He raised the handle of the lamp and thrust it forward, shining the light directly on the monster's face. It let out a sharp hiss, took half a step back, and narrowed its green eyes, as if it had been dazzled by a flash bomb. Without saying a word, Jianhong swung the iron pipe in a circle, rushed forward and hit it on the shoulder. The sound of cracking bones echoed in the fog. "Boss, hold it back. I'll deal with this beast." Zhang Min pulled Xiaoxian back, with the medical kit dangling in her hand. She reminded in a low voice, "Brother Yu, don't get too close. Your strength can't last for a long time." Xiaoxian panted, eyes fixed on the battle, "Brother Jianhong, come on. Be as handsome as you were when you were a soldier." Jianhong snorted, smashed the pipe 3 times, and the zombie finally rushed to the street, his green eyes dimmed, and collapsed into a puddle of mud. He wiped his sweat, turned around and gave Luo Yu a thumbs up, "Boss, this light and your eyes are invincible." "But how did it catch up? Smell?" Luo Yu shook his head hurting like a hammer. He rubbed his eyebrows and said, "There may be echoes in the fog. Let's go, don't delay." In the direction of the mall, bypass this gravel. The team reorganized, and the lights moved forward, deep into the darkness of East Street. The fog was torn open by the aperture, revealing the true appearance of the ruins. Broken street lamps looked like fallen soldiers, overturned cars piled up into iron fortresses, the walls were covered with vine-like wires, and occasionally mice scurried by, making tiny rustling sounds. Luo Yu's hearing was still sharp, and the low roar in the distance was like the roar of the subway. He took the lead to avoid a puddle of water, turned right to avoid the pile of car wrecks. "Listen, there is the sound of water ahead, it may be the sewer." The street is as narrow as an old alley, and half of the buildings on both sides have collapsed, revealing the ruins inside. Zhang Min approached Luo Yu and asked in a low voice, "Does your head still hurt? The effect of the serum has worn off. I feel your pulse is a little faster." Luo Yu smiled and patted her hand, "A small problem, Minner. Compared to climbing a tree and wrestling when I was a kid, this is nothing. Your medical knowledge has saved us so many times, and now it's my turn." His words were filled with the gentleness of a childhood sweetheart. Zhang Min blushed slightly, but didn't say much, just nodded and followed. Xiaoxian trotted behind, looking around, "Brother Yu, these ruins in the fog are like a ghost town in a martial arts movie. I used to love reading those doomsday comics and always wanted to have superpowers. Now you are alive." Behind Jianhong Palace, with an iron pipe on his shoulders, he laughed and scolded, "Little girl, don't make trouble. Superpowers also need to be practiced. Doomsday is not a game. I remember when I was a soldier, it was a pain on the training ground. Now think about it, I am lucky to have these skills to protect everyone." They advanced for half an hour, the hum of the light batteries growing fainter and the aperture narrowing. Luo Yu's vision began to blur, the edges seemed to be covered with a veil, his hearing became dull, and distant roars became blurred. His heart tightened, recession is coming, and a replacement must be found. But the surface is stable, there is an old bridge ahead, half collapsed, but you can cross. Jianhong, explore the way. The bridge lies in the middle of the street. It was originally an elevated road, but now it is disconnected in the middle, as if it has been bitten by a giant beast. The steel bars are exposed in the fog, and there is a deep black trench below. Jianhong climbed up the broken edge and poked the ground with the iron pipe, stable, enough for 3 people to walk abreast. "But be careful." The team filed past, Luo Yu stood behind, and the lights illuminated the steel mesh. Suddenly, a strange sound came from the bottom of the fog. It was not wind, but claws scraping metal. There was still a trace of Luo Yu's enhancement left, and he shouted, "Ambush! There's something below!" Before he finished speaking, 3 zombies jumped out from under the bridge, their gray skin flashing in the light, and their eyes as red as blood lamps. They climbed up the steel bars, as agile as monkeys, and one of them pounced on Xiaoxian. "Damn it!" Jianhong turned back and swept the iron pipe across, hitting the first one's head. The brains were splashed open and the fishy smell hit his nostrils. His steps were as steady as a rock. He dodged left and right, swung the pipe continuously, and let out a scream when his second arm broke. "Boss, protect the lights. These are the ones hiding under the bridge. They are crazy hungry." His movements were smooth, like fighting in military training. The shadows of the past turned into strength at this moment. No longer blaming himself, he was the team's shield. Zhang Min pulled Xiaoxian out of the way, threw the medical kit out, and the syringe inside hit the third one in the eye. It roared and retreated, and she gasped, "Jianhong, don't fight. These zombies have signs of parasites, and their bites will be contagious." Xiaoxian turned pale with fright, but did not dodge. She picked up a piece of iron on the ground and poked the monster's leg. "Brother Jianhong, let me help you." "Sister Min, tell me how to tell?" Zhang Min pointed to a pool of water by the bridge. "Look at the color, there is no green algae, it doesn't smell rotten, it's safe. Drink some water, Jianhong needs strength." Luo Yu rushed forward, using the lamp handle as a stick, and smashed away an incoming claw. He still had some physical strength left, and his strengthening allowed him to predict his trajectory. He would dodge when he heard the wind. But the headache worsened, like a swarm of bees buzzing in his head. He gritted his teeth. "Xiaoxian, supplies. There is a hole behind the bridge pillar." Xiaoxuan's eyes lit up. The strength in Luo Yu was right. She got into the black hole, groped for a long time, and pulled out an old backpack. "Wow! Cans and bandages. Who hid it? Doomsday treasure." She threw a can to Jianhong, smashed the last zombie's head open, and sat down with a gasp. "Thank you, little girl. I have never been so happy in this battle." The smell of blood dispersed on the bridge, and the team panted across the bridge. Luo Yu leaned against the steel bar, suffering from a headache. He rubbed his temples. The light dimmed, and the aperture was only 5 meters. "The battery is almost gone, my eyes are starting to blur. We need to find alternative lighting. The fog is too thick and we are wandering around blindly without light." Zhang Min got closer and checked his pupils. "The decline is normal. The serum lasted for 40 minutes, which is the limit. After you rest, I will give you painkillers. But your prediction saved us. We have grown up, Brother Yu, and are no longer the engineer who only repairs machines." They found a piece of flat ground by the bridge to rest, and Xiaoxian divided the cans. The beans in the tin cans still smelled fresh, like the laba porridge eaten during the Chinese New Year. "Come on, Brother Jianhong, eat first. You were like a martial arts star just now, your pipes were flying." Jianhong chewed and laughed. "A star is nothing. Speaking of which, on the first day of the apocalypse, I was on duty at the camp, and the virus outbreak was like a roller coaster. Brothers changed one by one, and I shot and killed more than a dozen, and I blame myself to this day. Fortunately, I met you. The boss pulled me into the team, Minner healed my injuries, and Xiaoxian made me laugh every day. Doomsday stories must have a bright part." Zhang Min smiled and handed the water to Luo Yu. "What about me? That day in the hospital, the patient turned into a zombie. I hid in the medicine cabinet and listened to the screams outside. Brother Yu, you called and said, 'Minner, hold on, I'll pick you up.' That voice was like when you were a kid when you repaired a broken bicycle and promised, 'It will definitely work next time. Now, let's repair the world together.'" Her words were soft, tears were shining in her eyes, and the friendship between childhood sweethearts warmed in the mist. Xiaoxian hugged her knees and answered optimistically, "My story is the worst. On the day of the internship, the hospital fell. I climbed out of the window and escaped, scratched my legs, and fainted on the street. When I woke up, Sister Min saved me and said, 'The team needs you to be optimistic. Brother Yu, you always take the lead in setting traps, like the master engineer in the game. Brother Jianhong's marksmanship, I imagine how cool it would be to be a soldier. Sharing this, it feels like we are not survivors, but family.'" Luo Yu listened, and the headache in his heart became lighter. He thought to himself, these stories are not a burden, but a strength. Growth is from loneliness to mutual support. Thank you everyone. In the apocalypse, our bond is stronger than the serum. The lights are about to go out, but Xiaoshuan's supplies include matches and candle fragments, which can be used for temporary lighting. Save them and move on to the trading area. They lit small candles, and the light was weak but steady, replacing the orange color of the lamp. The street turns, and human voices are faintly heard in the fog, whispers and metal collisions, like hawkers at a night market. Jianhong was alert, the trading area is approaching. I heard that there is a mysterious businessman, Huang Yi, who specializes in trading scarce goods. He has lamp oil and serum in his hands. But it is said that he deceives people and hides things in his goods. His motives are unknown. Be careful. Xiaoxian was excited. Huang Yi. Sounds like a market hero in a costume drama. Brother Yu, how do we change? Use trap parts? Luo Yu nodded, his vision blurred, but his determination was clear. Exchange with sincerity. Listen to the rumors and observe first. There is always truth hidden in the rumors in the trading area. The team approached, the wax light swayed, the voices gradually approached, and the shadows in the fog lengthened, like a harbinger of a new crisis. The flame of the candle trembled between Luo Yu's fingers, like a small lantern struggling in the fog, illuminating the outline of the front. The remains of the ruined market are hidden behind this bend, and the overturned stall shelves emerge from the mist. The iron sheets are rusty and rag strips are hung on them, like flags in a ghost market. The air smelled of rust and mildew, mixed with the low sounds of bargaining, human voices, and the clang of metal. Luo Yu's heartbeat stabilized, but his headache was still there. But after sharing those stories, he felt that he was not an engineer working alone, but the anchor of the team. Growth is like this, finding your way out of the fog step by step. Stop, don't rush in. Jianhong whispered, the iron pipe lying in front of him, his eyes scanning the shadows. His soldier's intuition was like that of an old cat, smelling something strange in the air. It is rumored that Huang Yi's men will ambush here. Look behind the stall, there is movement. Xiaoxian, you are more optimistic than anything else. Shut up now and listen to my command. Xiaoxian stuck out her tongue and lowered her voice, Brother Jianhong, don't worry, I know. It's like playing hide-and-seek when I was a kid. I am the best at hiding. But this market feels like a night market. What are they selling in the fog? Yongya's ghost goods? She approached Zhang Min, the two of them were side by side, holding the medical kit tightly. Zhang Min nodded and narrowed his eyes. Brother Yu, the candle is almost burned out. Go straight to Huang Yi after entering, and don't touch here and there. I heard that he has clues about the serum, but you have to be vigilant, there is always something fishy about doomsday deals. Luo Yu took the lead, with Wagwan exploring the way ahead. They walked around a pile of crumbling shelves, shattering glass under their feet, the crunch echoing in the fog. The market is not big, just tens of meters square. The survivors squat in the corner in twos and threes, wrapped in rags, with eyes like wolves, staring at each other's packages. Someone was changing cartridge cases, someone was whispering for water. In the center, a short, fat man sat cross-legged on a stall, with bottles and jars in front of him, fuel oil, bandages, and even a few tubes of yellowing injections. He wears a torn hood, has scars all over his face, and smiles like an old fox in the city. Hey, new face? When you come to the ruined market, you have to be sincere. I, Huang Yi, specialize in curing doomsday hunger and thirst. Luo Yu stopped 3 meters away, holding the candle high to illuminate Huang Yi's pile of goods. The team dispersed, with Jianhong on the left, Tang Xiaoxian and Zhang Min behind. Mr. Huang, I heard that you have lamp oil and medical supplies in your hand. We are not here to rob them and exchange them with things. Luo Yu said, his voice was steady, as if discussing business. He took out a homemade weapon from his backpack, an iron pipe with a barb welded on it and a spring added to the end, which could be retracted and used as a stick or hook. This is a modified trap with parts designed to treat zombie claws. How about replacing it with a barrel of fuel and 2 packs of antibiotics? Huang Yi's eyes lit up, and he stretched out his hand to touch the weapon. The smile on Scar's face deepened. Young engineer, right? Your skills are good, just like the energy you used to repair bicycles when you were a kid. In the apocalypse, this thing is valuable. But fuel? The fog is so thick, and the lights are not bright, who dares to walk at night? He glanced at the team, his eyes lingering on Zhang Min's medical kit. The guy next to you looks like a doctor. I heard that serum is very popular. I have some here, but it's not cheap. Tell me, where are you from? On the bridge on East Street, there were zombies screaming just now. Are they chasing you? Jianhong took half a step forward and tapped the iron pipe on the ground. Stop talking nonsense, Huang Yi. Just trade, don't make any excuses. We are on guard. Who knows if there's an ambush from you in this market? His tone was firm, like a soldier inspecting a post, his eyes scanning the shadows behind the stalls. Seeing that the atmosphere was tense, Xiaoxian couldn't help but interrupt, and squatted down with a smile. Uncle Huang, don't be scary. We are good people, we broke out from a high-rise building. You have so many goods, it's like a New Year temple fair. Fuel is exchanged for weapons, is it fair? To sweeten the deal, let me tell you a joke, why don't zombies like foggy weather? Because they are afraid of getting lost. She blinked, and the team chuckled, and the tension eased half a minute. Huang Yi laughed, and his scarred face trembled. Little girl, you have a sweet mouth. Okay, I will accept this deal. But have you used the serum? Look at the engineer's eyes, the red thread is still there. The source is not simple, it was dug out from the underground laboratory. Those people in the government, before the virus outbreak, just engage in mutation research. The serum is their light of eternal night, it strengthens the human body and lights up the darkness. But hey, I heard that if you use it too much, you will become half human and half corpse. Is there an antidote hidden in the laboratory? I want to know more. Zhang Min's face changed when she heard underground laboratory. She approached Luo Yu and whispered, Brother Yu, don't believe Quan. He knows the inside story of the serum. It may be phishing. But the information is useful, my research and development lack source clues. She stared at Huang Yi warily, pressing the medical box with her hand as if to guard against thieves. Luo Yu nodded, and a thought flashed in his mind, this information is like a missing piece in a puzzle that must be grasped. But don't be impatient. A growing leader must stabilize the overall situation. Mr. Huang, let's put the serum matter on hold for now. Change fuel and medical treatment first. We will remember your words. But the motive is unknown, so don't try to trick us. Huang Yi shrugged, and pulled out a small barrel of fuel and 2 packets of medicine from behind the cargo pile. Deal. Little engineer, smart. To survive in the apocalypse, you have to be mutually beneficial. He took the weapon, stuffed it into his arms, and was about to deliver the goods when a low roar suddenly came from the fog, not the wind, but claws scratching the ground. At the edge of the market, 2 zombies sprang out, their gray skin covered with mold spots and their eyes red, like sharks smelling blood. They headed straight for the stall, one knocking over the shelves, bottles shattering, and the smell of fuel filling the air. Damn it! Ambush? Jianhong shouted, and the iron pipe swung out, hitting the first one's shoulder, and the sound of bone shattering was heard. He stepped steadily and dodged to the left to protect Huang Yi. Businessman, back off. Is this your trap? Huang Yi rolled behind the stall and cursed, what nonsense. There are always things that slip through the market, and corpses are hidden in the fog. Deal with it quickly, I will give you extra parts, Yongya lamp upgrade parts. Luo Yu threw away the candle stumps and grabbed the homemade weapon. Wait, he just changed it, but there was an iron rod in Huang Yi's goods. He picked it up and poked the second zombie in the eye. Although the light was gone, the strengthening track in his memory was still there. Listen to the wind and dodge left. Jianhong, attack from the flank. Xiaoxian, throw the medicine pack and hit it. His command was quick and accurate, like an engineer debugging a machine, but his headache did not stop his determination. Xiaoxian grabbed a bag of antibiotics, threw it and hit the zombie's head. The powder exploded and the monster roared back, Brother Yu, it's done. It's like throwing a snowball, ha, but don't laugh at me for being naive, this is a team battle. Zhang Min was not idle. She took out a syringe from the box and stabbed it into the neck of the first one. It contained the remains of a sedative. Jianhong, don't kill, capture him alive to see how he parasitizes. Jianhong snorted, the pipe pressed down on the monster's arm, and his knees pressed against his belly. Little girls, back off. This beast has a poisonous sac, and it will be troublesome to bite it. He twisted hard, and the zombie's neck bone was broken and it became limp. Luo Yu's stick stabbed him repeatedly, and the second one's leg became weak and he fell to the ground. He gasped and felt his strength return. It wasn't the serum, it was the team's tacit understanding that allowed him to grow into a leader who could predict crises. The market was in chaos, and other survivors screamed and fled. Huang Yi climbed out from behind the stall and patted the dust. Good skills. Rarely seen in the apocalypse. You are not skirmishers, you are a team. He threw a small box with a wick and a battery pack inside. Upgrade your permanent if you add a night light, the aperture will be doubled. But remember, the underground laboratory of the serum conspiracy is in the old subway in the West District. There is a safe house there, but you have to solve the puzzle to get in. I, Huang Yi, never help. The team gasped to receive the goods. The fuel barrels were heavy and the medical supplies were fresh. Luo Yu took the box and nodded. Thank you, Mr. Huang. We will check for clues. But what is behind your kindness? Huang Yi smiled, and the shadow on his scarred face lengthened. Who doesn't have secrets in the doomsday market? Go, the fog is getting deeper. He turned around and melted into the shadow, his motives as unclear as the fog, leaving a chill of suspense. Zhang Min checked the fuel. Brother Yu, this oil is pure, enough for 3 days. Serum information, go home and study. Xiao Xian excitedly dispensed the medicine. Brother Jianhong, you were like a special soldier just now. Uncle Huang's clues are like a treasure map, let's go on an adventure. Jianhong wiped the blood on the tube. Vigilant, I'm optimistic, but be careful. I heard that there are many zombie nests in the West District subway. Huang Yi is a stable trader, but there is something ghostly in his eyes. Luo Yu installed the upgraded parts, and the old lamp buzzed on, and the aperture expanded, tearing away more fog. He thought to himself, this battle not only repels the corpses, but also creates a way forward. Growth means learning who to trust and who not to trust in transactions and crises. The team regroups, the lights move forward, the whispers of the market fade away, and the shadow of the West End appears faintly in the fog, like the beginning of a new mystery. The mist was like smoke rings exhaled by an old smoker, entangling the team's footsteps. After the lights expanded, Luo Yu felt that the road ahead became a little clearer. Upgrade parts buzzed, the circle of eternal night lights swallowed up more darkness, and the outline of the West End subway faintly emerged, like a ghost spot on an old map. Not long after they left the market, their backpacks were heavy and the fuel barrels swayed softly. Luo Yu rubbed his temples, his headache felt like pins and needles, the serum's strength was ebbing, and the edges of his vision began to blur. Min, there is enough lamp oil, but my condition is not good. It feels like the battery is about to run out of power. Zhang Min walked beside him, clamped the medical box tightly, and touched his arm gently. Brother Yu, don't hold on. Huang Yi's information said that using too much serum is risky, but now we are breaking out, there is no choice. I have a spare tube in the box, an experimental product brought from a high building. I will inject it at a safe point. Her voice was low, like when she coaxed him to take medicine when she was a child. The tacit understanding between childhood sweethearts made Luo Yu's heart warm. Jianhong opened the way in front, the iron pipe swept across the low barbed wire fence, and his eyes scanned the ruins on both sides. The fog smells rotten. Xiao Xian, you are doing the job of distributing medicine, don't panic later. That fox Huang Yi, the clues he gave are like bait. Underground laboratory? It sounds like a trap, but we have to go. Tang Xiaoxian carried the supply bag on her back, humming a tune optimistically, and lowered her voice. Brother Jianhong, don't worry, I'm giving out candies as fast as I can. The fuel is exchanged for these, and it feels like giving out red envelopes during the new year. I heard that there is a mouse kingdom in the West District subway, but we have Brother Yu's lights, which are very bright. Zombies are afraid of light, right? She blinked, and the team laughed softly, relieving their fatigue a little. But as soon as he finished speaking, there was a strange sound in the fog, not wind, but the harsh sound of claws scraping iron, mixed with a low growl, like a group of wild dogs grinding their teeth together. Stop! There's something moving behind you. Jianhong shouted, raising the iron pipe and blocking the front with his body. Luo Yu's light flickered, illuminating the shadows in the fog, not just 2 or 3, but a group. Strengthened zombies, with gray skin covered with black veins, eyes as red as burning coals, claws longer than ordinary ones, and hooks as curved as sickles. They sprang out from the edge of the market, a dozen of them, and their roars shook the mist. The light should have been a savior, but it was like a beacon, attracting these monsters. They rushed towards me, and the leading one jumped on the roof of the abandoned car, smashing the dented iron with its claws, making a metallic wail. Damn it, it's caused by the light. Luo Yu's heart tightened, and he grabbed his homemade weapon, flashing in his mind, growth is not about avoiding crises, it's about facing them when the lights are on. He shouted, Jianhong, attack from the left. Min, protect Xiaoxian. Xiaoxian, share water and energy rods to maintain your strength. The team dispersed, Jianhong rushed forward, and the iron pipe hit the first shoulder, making a bone-cracking sound, but the monster did not fall, and its claws scratched his arm, tearing a bloody gash. Fuck! This thing is harder than the 2 in the market. Jianhong gritted his teeth and kept his pace steady, but suddenly froze. The face of a zombie in front of him, with distorted facial features, looked very much like his comrades in the army. The moment the virus mutated during the outbreak, the flesh and blood were blurred. Flashbacks flashed through his mind, the outpost fell, the roars of his brothers, the despair of running out of bullets. In the past, shadows surged like a tide, and the iron pipe was half a beat too slow. Jianhong! Wake up! Zhang Min screamed, rushed up from behind, and pierced the zombie's neck with a syringe containing the sedative he had just drawn from the supply. She pushed the monster away and grabbed Jianhong's arm. Her voice was urgent but gentle. Brother, what are you thinking about? We are a team, you are not the only one to carry it. Remember when you were on the high-rise building, you saved my life, and now it's my turn to help you. Take a deep breath, these are not your ghosts. Her words were like an anchor. Jianhong's eyes cleared, and the fog of the past dispersed. He swung the iron pipe hard and broke the monster's head. Thanks, Min. I almost fell. He gasped, his shoulders relaxed, and his loyal guarding instinct returned, turning to protect the team's flanks. Tang Xiaoxian was not idle. She squatted behind the abandoned car and distributed supplies like fast food. Brother Jianhong, eat an energy bar. Brother Yu, I'll give you some water. Don't lose your strength. Sister Min, I'll load your syringe for you, not real ammunition, but medicine. She was agile and optimistic. There was tension in his tone. These zombies are like bad neighbors in the fog, knocking on the door and begging for candy. We give them calming candy. Hold on, the team is invincible. The energy bar was stuffed into Jianhong's mouth, and the water bottle was handed to Luo Yu, maintaining everyone's combat effectiveness. The zombies swarmed up, claws scraping the ground, roaring like thunder, and monsters thrashing in the circle of light, but it also allowed the team to see the path clearly. There was a gap in the abandoned building on the left, and they could break through. Luo Yu felt that his physical strength was ebbing away, and his vision was shaking. He gritted his teeth. Min, give me the serum. Now. Zhang Min handed over the syringe, and the needle pierced his arm. The cold liquid poured in and strengthened like fire. His muscles bulged, his hearing sharpened, and the lights brightened in his eyes. But the side effects came violently. Within seconds after the injection, the edges of the vision were distorted, hallucinations emerged, like projections in the fog. The scene of the underground laboratory flashed by, with figures in white coats, green liquid in the needles, and whispers of the origin of the virus. Eternal Night Project, genetic fusion, control of survivors. Not a dream, but a fragment unlocked by the serum? Luo Yu shook his head, shook off the hallucination, and his heart sank. The conspiracy Huang Yi mentioned is indeed true. The virus is not an accident, but man-made. He yelled, "Turn right, gap. Jianhong, open the way. Xiao Xian, throw the fuel bottle at the back, delay them." Jianhong came back to his senses. The iron pipe was like a windmill, smashing open the leg of an enhanced zombie, and plasma sprayed out, "Follow. These beasts have poisonous claws, don't let them bite you." He protected the team, and the shadows turned into power, and his steps were like a tank pushing forward. Zhang Min pulled Xiao Xian and stabbed her with syringes to maintain the defense line. "Brother Yu, your eyes are red, the serum is stable." "Hallucination? Tell me, what did you see?" Luo Yu stabbed an approaching monster while running, gasping, "Lab, the virus is the plan, fusion genes control us." Huang Yi's clues are right. His leadership is like a light, stabilizing the chaos, and the team's tacit understanding is like the meshing of gears. Xiao Xian threw out the fuel bottle and hit the zombies behind. The oil splashed out and the monsters slid down with a roar. "It's done. It's like throwing a smoke bomb, adding fog to the fog, haha." The light tore through the darkness in front, and the enhanced zombies followed closely, but the team rushed into the gap in the abandoned building, and the iron door slammed shut, claws scraping outside. Inside is a temporary hiding place, a collapsed warehouse, with old boxes piled in the corners, and the fog is thinner. Luo Yu leaned against the wall and panted. The heat wave of the serum receded, but the afterimage of the hallucination remained. The source of the green liquid was like a government black box. He rubbed his eyes, the pain of growing up burning not because of weakness, but because he saw the truth clearly in a crisis and learned to lead the team to avoid pitfalls. The team collapsed and Xiao Xian shared the last energy bar. "Ha, everyone is great. Brother Jianhong, you look like a hero in a martial arts movie just now. Sister Min, you are so handsome when you pull people." Jianhong wiped the blood and smiled bitterly. "Young poor man. Min, thank you. I always got stuck in my past. I lost too many brothers that night with the virus." Zhang Min handed the bandage and wrapped it gently. "Brother, the past is the past, now we are your backing. The team is like this, one person hesitates, and everyone pulls back." She turned to Luo Yu. "Brother Yu, the side effects of the serum are serious, hallucinations are clues. The underground laboratory Huang Yi mentioned sounds like a virus nest. Shall we go?" Luo Yu nodded, dimmed the lights to save fuel, and felt as stable as a rock. From engineer to leader, it was in this light and illusion that he forged his way forward. Huang Yi's intelligence was half true and half false, but the parts he gave us saved us. In the West District subway, solve the puzzle and go and define the antidote. But you can't rush in blindly. Jianhong, use your map experience to mark the route. Min, research the serum fragments. Xiao Xian, you can take care of morale. We are not stragglers, we are a unit. Jianhong said, his eyes lit up. "Okay, I'll deal with the shadows." Xiao Xian clapped her hands. "Brother Yu, your leadership is up, let's expose the conspiracy." Zhang Min approached Luo Yu and whispered, "You have changed, Brother Yu. From the trap boy in the high-rise building to the fixed star now. I will bear the pain of the serum with you." Luo Yu held her hand, the lights reflected the faces of the team, the sound of claws outside the fog gradually faded away, but the new mystery followed like a shadow, and the darkness of the West District was waiting for them to light up. The air in the warehouse was as stuffy as a steamer, mixed with the smell of rust and mildew. The team gathered in a circle, turned the lights to the lowest level, and saved a little lamp oil. Luo Yu let go of Zhang Min's hand and rubbed his eyebrows. The afterimage of the hallucination was still lingering in his mind, like a will-o'-the-wisp in the fog. He glanced at everyone. Jianhong was wiping the iron pipe against the wall, and the wound on his arm was tightly wrapped. Zhang Min dug out the serum sample from the medical box, frowning into the Chinese character Sichuan. Tang Xiaoxian finished dividing the last energy bar, wiped her hands, and tried to force a smile. "Brother Yu, the chase just now was like playing hide and seek when I was a kid, and I almost got caught. Take a rest and don't let the fog get into your head." Zhang Min did not raise her head. The needle shone coldly under the light. She took out a small tube of green liquid and looked closely at it. This serum is not a simple enhancer. Brother Yu, your hallucination after the injection is the fusion of laboratory, white coat, and green liquid. I just analyzed the sample, and there are virus residues in it. Leave a mark. It's not an accidental mutation. This thing is like the government's old experiment, the Evernight Project. It sounds like a science fiction movie, but the data is correct. Before the virus broke out, the government had a genetic project to control the population or something. The serum is the key to unlocking the truth and lighting up the trouble. Jianhong snorted, and the iron pipe hit the ground with a muffled sound. Government conspiracy? Min, you put it lightly. We broke out from the high-rise building in exchange for this mess, and now we have to go to the West District subway? That place is a zombie den. Huang Yi's love the report is half-baked, and if it turns out to be bait again, we will all be trapped. I have seen too many black boxes in the army. It is not worth it for brothers to lose their lives for such ghosts. His eyes turned red, and the shadows of the past came back, and he clenched his fists, as if he wanted to smash the wall. The atmosphere in the team suddenly became tense, and the sound of Wu Wei's claws scraping iron could be faintly heard, like knocking on the door to urge someone to die. Luo Yu's heart sank, and a thought flashed through his mind. Growth is not about listening to the wind or rain, but about pulling everyone on board amid differences. He spoke, his voice as steady as a lamppost. Jianhong, you are right, the risk is high. But if we don't move forward, the night will always be dark. We have lights, serum, and each other. Huang Yi's fox, the parts saved his life, and the intelligence matched the illusion. The doubts are correct, but it is more dangerous to stop. Before he finished speaking, there was a sudden tap on the warehouse door, 3 long and 2 short, like a secret signal. Everyone froze. Jianhong raised the iron pipe, and Tang Xiaoxian grabbed the fuel bottle as a weapon. The door crack opened, and Huang Yi's smiling face squeezed in, wrapped in a torn cloak, and the mist seeped in. Oh, don't do anything, I'm here to give you a gift. I heard the noise outside. I guess you were breathing here. There's chaos over there in the market, and the enhanced zombies are coming over like sharks smelling blood. I brought some good goods, 2 barrels of fuel, and a lamp upgrade chip, in exchange for your information. Serum hallucination, tell me, is it worth it? Jianhong growled, how did you find us? Follow us? The fox's tail can't hide, help. I'm afraid you are trying to trick me. He took a step forward, with the iron pipe across his chest, as alert as a door god. Huang Yi raised his hands and smiled like a counterfeit medicine seller. Brother Jianhong, you are wronged. I am dawdling here, and I come here when I hear the wind. Information exchanges for information, fair trade. I know a little bit about the serum. It is left by the government, and the antidote is hidden in the underground laboratory, but it also contains mines. Give me the details of the hallucination, and I will give you a road map, which leads directly to the new stronghold in the Western District. Zhang Min put down the syringe and looked sharply. Huang Yi, your motive is unclear. I analyzed the serum sample and found that the green liquid mark is a military code. The Yongya project is not to save people, but to control the mutants of survivors. Assistance sounds good, but what are you asking for information for? Our team will not work hard in exchange for lies. Her voice was gentle but thorny, and her childhood sweetheart's intuition led her to protect Luo Yu, with the medical box in front of her. Huang Yi shrugged and threw out a small bag. Don't believe it? This is a chip, try it first. Upgrade your lights, the range will be doubled, enough for you to break out. But what about the intelligence? What did the white coat in the hallucination whisper? Tang Xiaoxian couldn't help but interject, with an optimistic tone like a seasoning. Oh, Brother Huang, don't be so anxious, like a debt collector. Brother Jianhong, Brother Yu is right, there is no way out if you stop. Uncle Huang Yi, oh no, brother, your aid is like giving out candy during the new year, you taste the sweetness first, but we are the one to tell the intelligence. Team, it's normal to have disagreements, just like a family quarrel, and it becomes even more intense after the quarrel. Sister Min, Brother Jianhong, let's sit down and chat. The sound of claws is approaching. It's embarrassing to fight within. She blinked, pulled Jianhong's sleeve, and handed over an energy bar. Brother, take a bite, and be less angry. Huang Yi, just sit there, don't touch me, I'll give you some. Jianhong paused, took the energy bar, took a bite, and smiled bitterly. Xiaoxian, you girl, you can always hit. Okay, Ting Yu. But Huang Yi, if you dare to play tricks, I won't recognize anyone. He sat down, his shoulders relaxed, and the shadow of the past became lighter in the team effort. Luo Yu waited for a moment, his heart turning like a gear. The risks are like fog, but joining forces is the way forward. He nodded. Huang Yi, it's a deal. But we say half of it, and you give the whole picture. In the hallucination, the whisper is gene fusion, control survivors. The Evernight project, the virus is man-made, and the serum unlocks the memory. Is it worth it? Huang Yi's eyes lit up and he threw out the rolled-up map. It's worth it. This map is old stuff, dug from the black market. The entrance to the West District subway is at the old station, and there is a branch line inside that leads to the new shelter, the northern suburbs fortress. I heard that there is a resistance army. But be careful, the laboratory is here deep inside, the zombies are guarding the secret. He put away the information and retreated to the door. After the transaction, I'm leaving. The siege outside is intensifying, and the sound of claws is like drums. Good luck. The door closed, and the team breathed a sigh of relief, but trust was like a light, which flickered as soon as it was lit. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a loud roar outside, claws smashed on the door, and the warehouse wall shook. A group of enhanced zombies are coming. There are about 20 shadows in the fog, and the gray skin of the leader has black veins like a web. Damn it, Huang Yi is walking fast, let us hold the tank. Jianhong jumped up and held onto the iron pipe tightly. Engineering drawings flashed in Luo Yu's mind, and the flames of growth were burning brightly. It was not about hiding, it was about upgrading and counterattacking. He grabbed the lamp parts and the chip. Min, protect the sample. Xiaoxian, distribute supplies. Jianhong, guard the door. I'll upgrade the weapons and set traps. Trust me, this time not only will the lights turn on, but the weapons will also bite. He squatted in the corner and used his hands quickly. The chip was embedded into the light base, the fuel pipe was connected to the barbed wire, and he made a homemade electric shock trap. Old batteries were connected in series, and when triggered, they would discharge and paralyze the zombies. The engineer's instinct surged, and the phantom pain turned into motivation. The weapon was upgraded to a thunder network tube, an iron pipe wrapped with wires, connected to a light and electricity, and charged with electricity in one blow. It's done! Jianhong, try this thing, it will shock them like electrified chickens. Luo Yu handed it over, with the confidence of a leader in his voice. Jianhong took it, tried it out, and buzzed with electric arcs. You boy, your skills are amazing. In the past, I could only smash, but now I am like a science fiction soldier. He rushed to the door was smashed open a crack, the iron pipe poked out, lightning flashed, the leading zombie twitched and fell to the ground, and the roar turned into a scream. The team followed, and Zhang Min gave backup with a syringe. Jianhong, left. Brother Yu, I'll take your trap wire. She pulled the wire, and the power grid was triggered. Several zombies collapsed into a pile, and the burning smell dispersed in the mist. Tang Xiaoxian threw the fuel bottle and delayed the flank. Haha, the electric chicken dance is about to begin. Sister Min, give me the syringe, and I will learn to prick it. Team, work together like Tai Chi, use your strength to fight. Her optimism was like the wind, blowing away the tension. Jianhong turned around and smiled. Girl, don't blame me for the prick. Trust was rebuilt in the battle, the shadows of the past were dispersed, and the brotherhood was connected like lightning. Luo Yu commanded, turn right, gap. Min, reserve the serum. I feel the side effects are coming again, but hold on. He pierced a charging monster, and green shadows flashed at the edge of his vision. The laboratory was clearer, the conspiracy was like a web, and the government's black hand reached out to the survivors. The zombie swarm ebbs, the sound of claws fades away, the warehouse door closes, and the team breathes. The map was spread out, and the mark of the northern suburbs fortress flickered, but Huang Yi's words were like shadows. There are mines hidden in the laboratory, and the truth about the serum is a double-edged sword. Luo Yu looked at everyone, the light reflected on his face. This picture is the key, but the conspiracy is not over. Let's go and expose it. The road ahead is dark, but there is light. Zhang Min shook his hand and whispered, Brother Yu, let's go together. Jianhong nodded, it's a piece of stone. Xiaoxian blinked, new adventure, come. Outside the fog, there was a faint roar, and new crises were like shadows, waiting for them to light up. The fog was like a living thing, entangled in their footsteps. Not long after the team left the warehouse, they got into the ruins of the West District. Luo Yu took the lead, the upgraded light in his hand buzzed, and the chip expanded the beam by half a circle, barely illuminating the road ahead. The map lay spread out in his mind like an engineering blueprint. The old subway entrance was 2 streets away, hidden beneath the collapsed shopping mall. There were intermittent low roars outside, like thunder in the distance, and the shadows of enhanced zombies swayed in the fog. They didn't catch up, but who knew when they would come? Brother Yu, this fog is as thick as a quilt, can the light hold up? Tang Xiaoxian followed, the supplies in her backpack jingled, and she handed Jianhong a bottle of water. Brother Jianhong, drink some, don't cramp your arms during the electric chicken scene just now. Huang Yi's map looks old. If we take a detour, we will become mice drilling holes. Jianhong took the water, took a sip, put the iron pipe on his shoulder, and scanned the shadows with his eyes. Girl, don't be arrogant. The map is genuine, and the markings match the entrance of the old station. But deep in the restricted area, zombies can not only crawl, but also dig holes. The troops have entered similar places in the past, and the brothers lost half a shift. His voice was low, and the shadows came up again in the past, but looking at the team, his fists relaxed. You, how do you think we should go? Go straight to the entrance, or go around the side? Luo Yu stopped, and a green shadow flashed in his mind. The side effects of the serum were like needle pricks, but he gritted his teeth and suppressed it. An inner flash. Growth is about carrying the pain and leading the way. He pointed at the map, go straight. It's a waste of lamp oil, and it will be a lot of trouble in the fog. Jianhong, you go forward, I will upgrade the lamp for backup. Man, the serum monitor is on, I feel the ability is surging, but the hallucinations are also coming. Zhang Min nodded, holding his arm tightly, the instrument in the medical bag beeped. Brother Yu, the pulse is stable, but the concentration of green liquid has increased. The peak period is approaching, strengthen the senses, but don't be too pushy. Xiaoxian, help me keep an eye on the wound. They accelerated, breaking glass and iron filings under their feet, making a crisp sound. The ruins of the shopping mall appeared under the light. The entrance was a cave that collapsed, the rails were broken, and there was a rumbling blackness going down, like a zombie's throat. Jianhong probed first and poked the ground with the iron pipe. It's clean, for now. But it smells wrong, rot and metal. He turned his head. Team, enter in single file, I'll take the lead. You stand behind, cover the lights. The passage was damp and hot, with mold growing on the walls and bones and empty cans scattered along the tracks. The light swept across, revealing claw marks as deep as knife carvings. Tang Xiaoxian whispered, this place is like a rat's nest. Brother Jianhong, slow down and don't step on thunder. Jianhong laughed, girl, I stepped on thunder. They advanced 100 meters, and the passage bifurcated. There was a faint roar on the left, and it was eerily quiet on the right. Luo Yu's heartbeat quickened, blood heat surged into his arms, and his vision became clear. The cracks in the wall and the hidden pits under the tracks were all clearly visible. If there is movement on the left, go around to the right. Jianhong, pull up the wire and set up a sentry. Suddenly, Huang Yi's voice came from behind, like a ghost. Wait, friends. No harm, I'm following you. He squeezed out from the shadows, his cloak was wet, and he carried a small bag. The market is in chaos, and zombies are chasing me. I'm taking advantage of it. I'm familiar with the map, and there are shortcuts on the branch lines, but I have to increase my trading. Jianhong Iron Pipe said, Fox, here again? The warehouse just left, and now it's following you? Say, the motive is revealed. Huang Yi raised his hand, smiling but with eyes flashing. Brother Jianhong, don't rush into a powder keg. I'm not following, but following the wind. Serum information is valuable, and I have new goods, antidote clues, dug from the black market. But what am I after? Truth, my sister is infected with the virus and is on the verge of mutating early, and the serum is the key to saving her. Yongya plans to hide the antidote in a deep laboratory. I will help you pass through the passage and exchange serum samples for analysis. Is it fair? Zhang Min's eyes were sharp and he clenched the needle tightly. Huang Yi, your sister's story sounds true, but the motive is half true and half false. The serum virus marks the military antidote? In case of bait, we will all fall. Brother Yu, do you believe it or not? Luo Yu weighed, and the green shadow flashed hallucination. The white coat whispered control and redemption coexist. He nodded. I trust you for the time being. Huang Yi, lead the way, but you are playing tricks. Jianhong's control is not welcome. Man, the sample is for backup. We need clues to the antidote. Huang Yi was relieved, and took the lead and turned right. Okay, deal. This line leads to the laboratory, with many resources, but a zombie nest. Be careful of the elite body, its skin is as thick as iron, and its claws are poisonous. The passage became narrow, the air was fishy, and the light reflected from the puddles underfoot. Tang Xiaoxian suddenly stopped and squatted down to poke at the box in the corner. Oh, what is this? An old medical kit. Sister Min, look, gauze and antibiotics are enough for half a month. There is also a battery pack. Brother Yu, your lamp can be overclocked. Zhang Min came closer and opened the box. Xiaoxian, you have good eyesight. This is a legacy from the old station, a pre-virus product. Jianhong, be careful, I will bandage your arm. Jianhong nodded and asked her to apply the medicine without loosening the iron tube. Girl, finding it is like picking up treasure. Team, please hold on longer. Huang Yi glanced at it. You are lucky with resources, but the nest in front is guarded by the elite body. When the serum was at its peak, it was used to light a lamp. I have seen something similar, and the area is as big as a square. After finishing his words, a low roar exploded, and a black tide surged out in front of the passage, more than 20 zombies with twisted gray skin. The leading elite was 2 meters tall, with veins as black and red as a web, and claws shining with metallic light. It roared, causing dust to fall from the wall, and ordinary zombies rushed towards it like waves. Damn, elite! Jianhong, attack the left wing, I'll set a trap. Luo Yu shouted. The serum heat wave reached its peak, and his abilities were at the peak. His vision exploded, his senses were like radar, and the blueprint flashed in his mind. He grabbed the battery and wire and quickly tied it to the wall of the channel, an electric shock net and a fuel trap, which burned and powered up when triggered. Jianhong rushed forward, waving the iron pipe. Follow me. Fire the mine network pipe. He pierced 2 of them, arcing and jumping, and the zombies twitched and fell. But the elite body rushed forward and swept the wound with its claws. Jianhong opened the blood hole with his arm and backed away with a groan. The skin is too thick, the poison has gone in. Zhang Min pounced on him and stabbed his shoulder with a needle. Jianhong, sedative. Xiaoxian, press the wound, I will extract the poison. Tang Xiaoxian tore the cloth and held it down. Her optimistic voice was shaky but steady. Brother, hold on. It's like a small scratch, Sister Min's magic hand. Huang Yi, don't be idle, throw away the smoke. Huang Yi threw out the smoke bomb, and the black mist dispersed, blocking his sight. The weak point of the elite is the eyes, the serum light stings them. Luo Yu felt like the peak was burning, the green liquid merged with the blood. He grabbed the light, the chip overclocked, and the batteries were connected in series. The beam burst, the long night light shone down like the sun in a large area, and the passage was as bright as day. The zombies shrieked and retreated, the elite's eyes emitted white smoke, and their claws waved wildly. Now! Jianhong, attack from the flank. Luo Yu roared, his heart growing like light. It's not luck, it's teamwork. Jianhong jumped up despite the pain, and the iron pipe hit the elite's knee, causing lightning to flash. Huang Yi threw a fuel bottle and burned his leg. Tang Xiaoxian imitated the needle and pricked his eye. Fuck you, metal monster. Zhang Min pulled the wire to trigger the trap. The power grid was entangled, the fuel exploded, the elite's body roared, and his skin was charred and cracked. Luo Yu gave the last blow, and the thunder net tube pierced the heart, and electricity rushed through the body. It twitched and fell to the ground, and the passage shook. Ordinary zombies fled and their nests were cleared. The team gasped, the lights faded, Luo Yu's knees weakened, green shadows flashed wildly, and hallucinations flooded. The white coat smiled side effects, collapse or fusion. He supported the wall, his vision was blurred, and the pain was like thousands of needles. Min. The serum backfired and I can't hold on any longer. The stronghold is close, but... Zhang Min hugged him and said in an urgent voice, Brother Yu, Huang Yi has a clue to the antidote. Jianhong, carry him. Xiaoxian, supply quickly. Jianhong picked up Luo Yu and used the iron pipe as a crutch. Boy, don't fall. Our iron plate, sacrifice? Menor. Huang Yi, tell me the clues now, otherwise I will call you. Huang Yi's face changed, and his hands trembled under his cloak. Okay, there is a neutralizer deep in the laboratory, but I need your serum sample to exchange for the whole picture. My sister's life is worth the risk. Danyu, if you are on the verge of collapse, inject the antidote or, keep a sample, and we can split up. At the end of the passage, a light spot loomed, and the stronghold was close at hand, but Luo Yu groaned in pain. The team stopped, and the air tightened. Zhang Min looked at the crowd with tears in his eyes. Sacrifice the choice? No, we are not ashamed. Brother Yu, hold on, let's break the plan together. Jianhong growled, yes, whoever dares to sacrifice, I will smash it first. Tang Xiaoxian clenched her fists, the family will not be separated. Huang Yi sighed, okay, join forces. But the way forward, the elite body is just an appetizer. The roar started again, the fog seeped from the cracks, the crisis was like a shadow, the team pushed forward, and the decision was like a knife hanging above the ceiling. The mist at the end of the passage is like a ghost's hand scratching the heart, and the low roar seeping out of the cracks is getting closer and closer, mixed with the harsh sound of claws scraping iron. Jianhong carried Luo Yu, using the iron pipe as a crutch, and turned to glare at Huang Yi. Fox, don't lie. The lair ahead? Tell me clearly, how to break it. Huang Yi's cloak shook, and he took out an old walkie-talkie from his waist. The static buzzed, the elite appetizer, followed by a crowd. The exit of the old station is connected to the street, and zombies are surging. The serum light is the key, but you can't hold it anymore, so you have to hold on first. Cold sweat dripped from Luo Yu's forehead, and green shadows were scurrying around in his mind, like millions of insects gnawing at him. He gritted his teeth and said intermittently, Jianhong, put me down. The team can't stop. Man, the serum sample, give it to Huang Yi, but improve it first. I feel, the fusion is unstable, and the hallucination is going to swallow people up. A flash in his mind, growth is not shouldered alone, it is shared by the team. He stood up, his vision wandered, and there were faint lights outside the passage. They were the outline of the stronghold, so close but like a chasm in the sky. Determination flashed in Zhang Min's eyes. He squatted down and flipped through the medical bag. The syringe and the green liquid bottle jingled. Brother Yu, hold on. I listen to you. Huang Yi, if you have clues about the antidote, analyze the sample first. Xiaoxian, hand me the tools. The space here is small. Hurry up and prepare the improved version. Add a neutralizing agent to suppress the side effects. Tang Xiaoxian nodded with an optimistic smile on her tired face. Sister Min, take care of it. Just like cooking soup, add some sugar to stabilize blood sugar. Brother Jianhong, let's fight as soon as possible. Don't let anyone hold you back. A low roar approached, shadows swayed in the fog, and 3 or 5 ordinary zombies squeezed out of the cracks, with wrinkled gray skin and black juice dripping from their mouths. Jianhong roared low, pushed Luo Yu against the wall, and waved the iron pipe like the wind. Come on, you bastard. Past the shadow? I've already trampled it to pieces. There were flashbacks of nightmares from his past troops. His brothers were left in a similar lair, bloody, but looking at the team, he clenched his fists, and the shadows dispersed like mist. The fire of growth burns in my chest. I am no longer the soldier hiding from debts, but the hero who protects my family. He rushed forward, smashed the first head with one pipe, and blood splashed on the wall. Huang Yi, smoke. By time, Huang Yi threw out the second smoke bomb, and black mist filled the air, blocking his sight. Good job. Brother Jianhong, you are very energetic. But don't be a hero, the crowd is coming. In the smoke, the zombies jumped into the air, claws on the wall. Jianhong dodged sideways, and the iron pipe pierced the second throat. His movements were as smooth as the old training. The guilt of the past no longer bothered him. He turned around and shouted, "Boys, deploy quickly. This passage is narrow, I can block it, but where are the fire reinforcements?" Zhang Min's hands were quick, and the green liquid in the needle was mixed with the neutralizing powder given by Huang Yi. The instrument beeped. The concentration is stable, and the side effects are 70% lower. Brother Yu, inject. This improved version borrows your sister's clues and integrates the essence of the serum to strengthen it for a long time but not burn the body. She plunged into Luo Yu's arm, green light flashed, and heat flowed in like warm sun. Luo Yu groaned, the green shadow faded, his vision returned clear, his senses were like upgraded radar, and the pain turned into strength. Min, thanks. It feels stable, like an engine oil change. Team, push. After the injection, Zhang Min gasped, wiped his sweat and looked at everyone. It's done, but this serum marks the military's Yongya project. Huang Yi, what's your clue? Is the antidote really in the laboratory? Huang Yi was touching the intercom when he heard it. He smiled but his eyes flashed. Miss Min, your eyes are sharp. The clue is true, but the whole picture needs to be replaced with samples. Yongya project? Black market rumors. The virus is not a natural disaster, but a man-made disaster. Control the survivors and serve as test rats. As soon as he finished speaking, the intercom suddenly buzzed. It was not static electricity, it was an intercepted signal. Luo Yu's senses were enhanced, and his ears were like antennas. He grabbed Huang Yi's phone. Wait a minute, this signal, the military channel? Listen. The voice in the phone was intermittent, with electronic noise. Huang Yi, confirm that the sample is obtained. The Yongya light test was successful, and the virus was released in the second stage. The survivors gathered in the stronghold and injected serum to control the brain waves. The betrayers were eliminated, and the plan advanced. The team is petrified. Jianhong iron pipe paused, smashed the last zombie, turned around and glared at Huang Yi. Fox. Are you a fucking mole? The virus is artificial. Are you controlling us like dogs? Huang Yi's face turned pale, and his cloak fell off, revealing old scars on his arms. Brother Jianhong, listen to me. No. Chuanjin, my sister is a victim, and the black market is digging for clues to save her. But the military. I infiltrated and exchanged information. The samples were used as bait to help my sister with the antidote, and it was up to you to believe it or not, but if you don't have a map for me, you'll all be in trouble. Tang Xiaoxian was so angry that she stamped her feet, but her optimistic nature came over and she held Jianhong's arm. Brother Jianhong, don't hit me first. The fox's motives are confusing, but clues save lives. It's like guessing lantern riddles during the new year, half truth and half falsehood. Cross the river first and then demolish the bridge. Team, the family unites and destroys the enemy's stronghold. She distributed water and gauze, her voice as steady as an anchor. Sister Min, Brother Yu, drink some water. This fog can't dispel morale. Huang Yi, please prove that you are not a pure villain. Luo Yu weighs in. The serum is stable and the brain is clear. The truth is like a puzzle. The virus is man-made. Yongya plans to control the survivors. Huang Yi is half mole and half ally. A heartfelt message from a growing leader. Don't blindly believe, but use it. He nodded. Trust me for the time being. Huang Yi, lead the way, but you are playing tricks. The team will kill you first. At the exit of the passage, make a last-ditch effort on the street. Overclock the lights and avoid crowds. The inner monologue was short, the truth is painful, but push the team forward. Huang Yi sighed and handed over the folded map. Okay, turn left at the exit. There are many street bends and people gather in the square. The serum lights are dazzling and can be diverted. Elites are weak-sighted and ordinary people are afraid of light. They rushed out of the passage. Outside the fog was a ruined street. It was always dark. The lights of the stronghold in the distance were like stars, 2 streets away. But roaring like thunder, a large group of zombies surged around the square, hundreds of them. The gray tide rolled, the veins of the leading mutants were red and swollen, and their roars shook the fog. Damn, Surge! Jianhong growled, holding the iron pipe tightly, but his eyes were firm and there was no shadow at all. You, how to break? Go straight or go around? Luo Yu grabbed the light, the chip buzzed, the battery overclocked, the beam exploded, sweeping the street like a searchlight, illuminating hidden pits and broken walls and corners. Turn left, block the crowd with a wall of lights. Jianhong, you and I attack the flanks, with Min Shaoxian in the middle, and Huang Yi's smoke cover. He took the lead, his steps steady, his blood serum like a shield, and his senses predicting the path of the zombies. The streets were filled with rubble, the team was running single file, and the lights were like sharp swords, piercing the fog. The zombies noticed it, roared and rushed towards it, and the black tide surged into the street. But as soon as the light wall flashed, they shrieked and retreated, hitting the wall and killing each other. Tang Shaoxian shouted while running, Brother Yu, the magic lantern. It's like a festive firework, scaring away the mice. Brother Jianhong, the 3 on the left, say hello. Jianhong jumped up and swept the iron pipe, smashing the approaching mutants. Girl, you are sweet. I lost my brother in the past, but this time I will protect the whole family. He moved fiercely, overcame the shadows, and used all his strength like an animal. His stable serum allowed him to keep up with the rhythm. Zhang Min shook Luo Yu's hand, and the monitor beeped, Brother Yu, the green liquid is stable, and the ability is maintained. But Huang Yi, the walkie-talkie signal, is being tracked by the military? Huang Yi gasped while throwing smoke, Miss Min, bad thing. They locked my channel, the group is a bait, the group survived the stronghold, there is a mole. The truth was like a bomb, and the team's heart sank, but Tang Shaoxian shouted, the mole? Smash it. Shaoxian is not afraid, the family is united, it is powerful. She is optimistic and maintains unity, providing supplies and steady pace. At the last bend, the zombie wave hit the wall, screams spread, and several elite bodies broke through, their metal claws flashing. A blueprint flashed in Luo Yu's mind, break the wall and set up a simple trap. He grabbed the wire and tied the fuel bottle. Jianhong, lure them. Jianhong roared in response. The iron pipe poked his eyes and attracted the elites to throw themselves against the wall. Luo Yu pulled the wire, and the bottles exploded. Adding firelight and light, the elite's skin was charred, and the fever subsided like wax. Huang Yi finished his attack and threw a vial of antidote into the smoke. Try it. Pressure brainwave control. After crossing the street, the fog dispersed, and the outline of the stronghold appeared. The high wall was lit up, and the sentry tower shone, like salvation. But a figure flashed at the door, and there were shouts inside, Huang Yi is back. Where are the samples? The plan. Suspicions of betrayal emerged, Huang Yi's face turned livid, damn it, my sister, the spy in the military is my old gang. They used her to threaten me, their real intention is to completely control the serum, enslave the survivors. The team stopped, the air was as tight as a bow, Luo Yu held the lamp, and the green light shone on his face, the truth is emerging, but don't retreat. Team, enter the stronghold and break the conspiracy. There was a lingering roar, the sound of gunshots inside, and the crisis was like a net, and the plot reached a climax. The mist under the high wall of the stronghold was entangled like a living thing. The lights swayed behind the barbed wire, and the figures on the guard tower were vaguely moving. Internal shouts were intermittent, mixed with gunshots and metal collisions. "Huang Yi, where's the sample? Come in quickly, the crowd can't hold it down." Luo Yu held onto the eternal night lamp, and the green light illuminated everyone's faces. A blueprint flashed in his mind. The door was a trap, the insider locked onto Huang Yi's signal, and the zombie wave was lured in as a shield. The intuition of growth surges up, not rushing, but tearing apart bones. "Stop! Huang Yi, you'll be a loser if you go in. Team, go around the side door to the lighting literacy area. I'll build an electric shock net to block internal firepower." He commanded in a low voice, his voice as steady as a rock, and the enhanced serum made his decision-making as sharp as a knife. Jianhong raised his iron pipe and glared at Huang Yi. "Boy, tell me. Is the mole your old gang? They used your sister as a threat, and now they want to swallow all the serum?" Huang Yi's face turned pale, his cloak hand trembled slightly, and he took out a knife. "Brother Jianhong, believe me for the last time. I infiltrated to save my sister. She was mutated by the virus, and the military promised an antidote. But the Evernight project was originally a laboratory project, but after the virus was leaked, it was used to control people. The serum is the key, which can brainwash the survivors and establish a new order. I gave the sample with the intention of doing something bad, but I didn't expect them to lock the frequency and send the ghost after them." Guilt flashed in his eyes, and the slickness of the old fox in the market faded, revealing his true appearance. Zhang Min held the medical bag tightly, and the green liquid bottle jingled in his pocket. "Huang Yi, I believe 70% of the motive, but I can't give the sample. This is the lifeblood of the team, and Brother Yu's strength depends on it. Xiao Xian, prepare gauze, and we will guard against internal injuries as we walk." She turned to look at Luo Yu, gentle yet decisive. "Brother Yu, how to break the side door? The fog is thick and the lights have to be overclocked." Tang Xiaoxian nodded with an optimistic smile. "Sister Min, there are batteries in the bag, and it's like setting off firecrackers during the New Year to scare away the bad guys. Brother Jianhong, please break down the door first and then settle the score." Low roars came from the back streets, the remaining zombies hit the fog, and the gunshots inside became more urgent. "Fire! Traitor Huang Yi, the sample is lost, the plan is ruined." Bullets scraped against the wall, and sparks flew everywhere. Luo Yu grabbed the broken wire on the side of the road, and the project blueprint turned in his mind. Fuel bottles were tied with wires, and light chips were connected to make a simple network. "Jianhong, cover me and set up a net. Huang Yi, throw smoke to lure the ghost out. Min, the protective serum is in the middle." Xiao Xian divides the water and stabilizes the team. He moved quickly, pulling the wire into a mesh, and the fuel residue dripped on it. When the light was connected, the buzzing arc jumped. There was a brief flash in my heart. In the past, I only repaired machines, but now I repair the fate of the team. The team moved against the wall, with the side door looming in the fog and the iron gate rusting. Huang Yi threw out the smoke bomb, and black mist filled the door. The figure inside coughed and ran around. "Damn it, smoke. Shoot!" Bullets flew everywhere. Jianhong roared and rushed towards him, and the iron pipe smashed the claws of a probe zombie. "Come on, mole. I lost my brother in the past, and I won't leave him alive this time." He rushed to the door, swept the pipe across, and broke the lock. The shadows in the past were all angry, and his movements were like the god of war. Huang Yi followed, but suddenly turned around, and with a flash of sword, he struck directly at Jianhong's back. "I'm sorry, brother. Give me the sample, it's important to save my sister." "Fox! You!" Jianhong reacted like lightning. The iron pipe swept back and hit Huang Yi on the shoulder, causing the knife to fly out of his hand. The two of them fought fiercely on the ground. Jianhong pressed forward, fists like rain. "Betrayal? I mistrusted you." Huang Yi gasped and fought back, sweeping Jianhong's knees. "It's not a total betrayal. The spy in the military is my old gang. They control my sister's brain waves. I have to use the serum to replace her freedom." There were fists and kicks in the fog. Jianhong's old wounds were cracked, and his clothes were stained with blood, but he was loyal and heart-burning. Protecting the team is like protecting the family. He hit Huang Yi with a heavy punch on the bridge of the nose. The fox fell to the ground, his cloak torn, revealing the virus scars on his arms, and green veins loomed. Luo Yu's lights were overclocked, and the wall of light exploded, illuminating the chaos inside the door. 3 ghosts holding guns, green traces of serum on their faces flashing, and their eyes as empty as puppets. The virus leaked the truth. A man-made disaster in the laboratory. They used serum to control people. Luo Yu shouted, the lights were dazzling, the mole screamed and covered his eyes, and the gun went off. The electric shock net was pulled, and electric arcs rushed through the door. The 2 ghosts twitched and fell to the ground, and the smell of burning filled the air. Zhang Min rushed forward, threw away the medical bag, and plunged the needle into Jianhong's arm. Jianhong, sedative. Don't be brave if you hurt yourself. She kept the serum bottle in her hand, and the green liquid flashed under the light. She locked eyes with Huang Yi decisively. Fox, that's enough. The serum is not a life-saving charm, but a poisonous bait. The military plans to expose that the source of the virus is their experiment, and after the leak, they enslave the survivors. Your sister, let's save it together. Tang Xiaoxian shouted while treating the injured. Gauze was flying, and the optimistic voice was like a drumbeat. Brother Jianhong, get up. Fox, wake up, it's like guessing lantern riddles, half true and half false, now it's all smashed. Sister Min, this ghost green mark is like a bad lottery ticket that won a prize, it needs to be poisoned. She knelt down to press Jianhong's wound, and the needle pricked the other ghost's eye, and the rescue team gasped for a moment. The inner ghost was the last one to get up and pointed his gun at Luo Yu. Plan. Eternal night lights brainwashing, the whole city will obey orders. But the light was shining directly, green shadows were scurrying in his mind. He collapsed and knelt down, and revealed the truth. The laboratory, the virus is for life control, the serum is implanted into the brain waves, and the survivors serve as soldiers. Huang Yi. He knew it, but he wanted to take it all for himself. When Huang Yi heard this, his face was ashen. He got up and wanted to pick up the knife. Sister. I was wrong. Jianhong gasped and stood up, tapping his chest with the iron pipe. Wrong? I crushed my shadow, you should wake up. Huang Yi was knocked unconscious by the pipe, and the fox collapsed, ending the betrayal. Luo Yu nodded, and his growing wisdom flashed. Don't kill, keep him alive to dig for clues. Tie him up, Xiaoxian, check his veins. Min, hide the serum samples. Let's enter the core of the stronghold. Push the light wall forward to break the last line of defense. The gunfire stopped, and the interior was as silent as a tomb, but low roars came from outside the wall, and zombies smelled blood and threw themselves at the wall. The team rushed into the stronghold, and the lights swept through the corridors, revealing the survivors hiding. A dozen people huddled against the wall, with pale faces and panic in their eyes. You are not the military, a woman asked tremblingly. Luo Yu raised the lamp, and the green light was gentle. No. We broke the conspiracy, and the truth about the virus was exposed. Laboratory leak, man-made disaster. The serum is not salvation, but a shackle. Come with us and build a new home. The survivors stood up, their eyes lit up, and the team's morale was on fire. At the end of the corridor, the core room door is locked, and the remnants of the inner ghost are guarding the place. Jianhong carried Huang Yi, and the iron pipe broke through the door. Come on, let's give it a last try. The door shattered, and 2 guards jumped out, with fierce green eyes. Luo Yu's power grid was thrown out, arcing around him, and the guards twitching. Zhang Min used a needle to make up for the damage and injected poison to stabilize his life, keep him alive and ask for the antidote. Tang Xiaoxian distributed the supplies and shouted optimistically, it's done. It's like a holiday reunion, with all the bad guys lying down. Brother Yu, God made the decision, and the team is ironclad. In the core room, the instruments buzzed, the serum library flashed green, and the map on the wall showed the full picture of the Evernight project. The virus originated from the laboratory, spread after leakage, and the serum controlled the brain and built an army. Luo Yu dismantled the instruments, connected the lights, exploded the overclocking, illuminated the whole room, and revealed the truth like the sunrise. "Man, look! The clues to the antidote are here." Huang Yi didn't lie. Zhang Min nodded and hugged his arm. "Brother Yu, you have changed. From an engineering boy to a leader. The team lives because of you." Jianhong tied Huang Yi tightly and sighed. "Brother, wake up and atone for your sins. Your sister, let's help." The outer wall roared closer, and the zombie collision intensified, but the stronghold lights connected into a network, and the team pushed to the edge for the exit. The outline of the new shelter appeared, the Highland lighthouse flashed, and there was no shadow of the mole. Luo Yu took the lead and pointed in front of the light, the last line of defense, bypass the zombies and enter the new home. The truth is revealed and the battle is ahead. Everyone followed, their footsteps were in unison, the fog receded, and a ray of light emerged in the eternal night. The fog receded in front of the light wall, and the outline of the new shelter stood like a giant beast. The Highland lighthouse shone with a steady blue light, far away from the chaos of the stronghold. Luo Yu took the lead, holding the Evernight lantern high, the green light piercing the Evernight. The team stepped on the gravel road, and the roar of the zombies behind them was blocked by the wall. Jianhong carried Huang Yi who was tied up, the iron pipe was still dripping with blood. Zhang Min protected the medical bag, with the green liquid bottle dangling in his pocket. Tang Xiaoxian distributed the last gauze, and her optimistic laughter sounded like firecrackers. "Brother Yu, this lighthouse is as bright as a New Year lantern. Get rid of all the bad guys, our home is here." The iron door at the entrance was ajar, and the sentry looked out from the tower. The muzzle flashed, but when he saw the light, a voice came, "Stop." "Whose signal?" "The green light is not a military puppet." Luo Yu raised the light and approached slowly, with a steady voice. "We broke out from the ruins and broke the inner workings of the Yonya plan. Ghost. The truth about the virus is in hand. Open the door and join hands to build a new road." The door creaked open, and a group of survivors poured out. The leader squinted and looked at Huang Yi. "What's the truth about this fox?" The team filed into the new shelter, which was spacious inside and surrounded by high walls. There were simple shacks in the central square, and the braziers reflected the pale faces. Luo Yu nodded and signaled Jianhong to put Huang Yi down. The light swept over the fragments of the map, the evidence removed from the core room. The source of the virus was marked on the wall: underground laboratory, man-made leak. The purpose was to use the serum to control the brain and build the Eternal Night Army. "Look here," Luo Yu pointed at the map, and his voice was like telling a story. "The military is not the savior, but the instigator. Before the virus broke out, they conducted genetic experiments and wanted to use the fog as a cover for Eternal Night to enslave the survivors as soldiers. The serum was implanted into the brain waves to turn people into puppets, with green marks in their eyes as marks. Huang Yi knew about it, but he wanted to save his sister. We kept him alive to dig out clues to the antidote." Huang Yi was untied and rubbed his shoulders. The nosebleeds dried up on his face. He showed his tired face and said, "Brother, I was wrong. My sister was infected with a virus mutation. The military used her to threaten me to infiltrate and promised her serum in exchange for freedom. But after the plan was exposed, I originally wanted to do something bad, but I didn't. Thinking of the inner ghost locking my signal and forcing me to swallow the sample. The antidote. Deep in the laboratory, I have the green liquid neutralizing powder formula. Please give me one last chance to atone for your help." He took out the crumpled note from his cloak and handed it to Zhang Min, his eyes flashing with guilt. Jianhong glared at him, poked the ground with the iron pipe, and the shadow of the past disappeared like smoke. "Fox, my fist still hurts when you betrayed me. But the team is not ashamed. To save your sister, just treat it like trampling on my old score. I lost my brother back then because I didn't protect him well. This time I will atone for my sins and smash the experiment together." Room. He turned to look at Luo Yu, his voice low but firm. "You, from college roommates to now, you have led us through the fog, this shadow. I stepped through it." Luo Yu patted him on the shoulder, and the warmth of growth surged into his heart. it's not brute force, it's trust that builds the wall. Zhang Min took the note, and her medical knowledge lit up like a light. She knelt down to prepare the green liquid and tried dropping the neutralizing powder. Huang Yi, this formula is consistent with the data in the core room. The source of the virus is a man-made disaster. The laboratory wants to control the whole city forever, but we have samples and can reverse it. Brother Yu, your enhancement is stable, but what about the side effects? Don't rely on it anymore, blood, it's just a shackle. She stood up and locked eyes with Luo Yu. Her childhood sweetheart's intimacy was like a light in the fog. I remember when you were a kid, you repaired broken toys for me to play with. Now, let's build the world from scratch. Luo Yu shook her hand, and his heart flashed. From an engineering boy to a team leader, this road has been brightened by her. Min, the serum will save you in the emergency, but the future will depend on your brain. Let's build a sustainable lamp without the need for green liquid. Even when the sun and fog clears, we have to light the way forward. Tang Xiaoxian listened, smiled optimistically, and clapped her hands like a festival. Sister Min, Brother Yu, they are as sweet as sugar-coated haws. Uncle Huang Yi, good atonement, show me the map, let's draw a new version, like spring festival couplets during the new year. Brother Jianhong, the shadows are crushed, now you are a big pillar. She turned around to distribute supplies, took out batteries and gauze from the medical bag, and handed them to those around her. Survivor, everyone, share resources. Connect the battery to the light, wrap the wound with gauze, and work together to not be afraid of zombies. Optimism is medicine, smile, and the night will be bright. The survivors were curled up, listening to her teasing, with split smiles on their faces. The woman took the battery. Little girl, listening to you shouting in the fog is like listening to your mother telling a story. Alliance? Okay, we will follow. The shelter square became lively, and survivors gathered around the map. Huang Yi pointed out the weaknesses of the laboratory. The green mark of the inner ghost is afraid of strong light. There are cracks where zombies gather. Go around and hit the source. Jianhong organized sentries and distributed iron pipes. Old rules, watch in shifts, I will take the lead. The blueprint in Luo Yu's mind turned, refusing to depend on the serum. He took apart the eternal night lamp and connected it to the remaining solar panels of the shelter. Although the fog was thick, there was a faint light seeping through the high ground. Min, help me solder the wires. This lamp has been upgraded to use residual solar energy to circulate and does not rely on green liquid. The true nature of engineering is back. He moved quickly, the wire fuel bottle turned into a chip array, and the light turned from green to white, steadily bright and without flickering. While Zhang Min was welding the wires, she whispered, You have changed. From a breakout kid to a serum-rejecting leader. This growth is like the mist clearing and the sun rising. Luo Yu smiled and touched her forehead intimately, because of you. The team is home, serum is transition, and sustainability is the way. The lighthouse buzzed, white light exploded, illuminating the entire shelter. The fog outside the high wall retreated 3 feet, and the zombies roared and stopped. The survivors cheered. Huang Yi stood up, his eyes bright. White light, the antidote has begun. My sister is saved, thank you team. The alliance was formed, and resources were distributed like water. Medical kits were exchanged for food, maps were exchanged for weapons. Huang Yi's neutralizing powder was mixed into a small bottle, and handed to the woman. Stabilize the family first. Jianhong carried the new iron pipe, and the shadow of the past was fully mobilized. I will not hide. Let's rush to the laboratory and save the whole city. Tang Xiaoxian ran forward and back, as optimistic as a torch. Everyone, the lights are on. Like guessing lantern riddles on the Lantern Festival, we will win the battle in the future. She picked up the child, and the gauze turned into a toy, and the morale of the community was as strong as a wall. Luo Yu stood on a high platform, holding a white light high, and his voice resounded, the virus conspiracy has been exposed. Eternal night is not the end, but a new beginning. We reject the shackles of blood and build sustainable light. The team is united, the survivors are united, and we will fight for the future together. Everyone roared in response, the lights were connected to the network, and hope was born in the fog. Zhang Min leaned on his shoulder and smiled softly, the family is stable. Jianhong nodded, Huang Yi followed, and Tang Xiaoxian shouted, let's go. The steps were in unison, Yongye retreated, and the road ahead was bright.